Hey, you know what that means? We're live! Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the one and only DJ Storms, and I would like to welcome each and every single one of you back here to the channel on YouTube.com, as of course, you already know who I am, Mr. Controversy, and the operator of the best damn Twitter handle. No. Wait for it. Wait for it. To mankind. And this is the official Lightning Flash update for Saturday, October 9th, 2021. And my, oh my, do we have a lot to discuss and a lot to talk about. Thank you very much, everyone, for taking time out of your day in order to watch me. Of course, I am the man, the myth, and the legend known as DJ Storms. Let us check the chat. We got Rob Wells Jr. How about that? Rob Wells Jr., he is a loyal DJ Storms posse member, always coming in clutch. We also got Alan Holland Jr. There we go. Mr. Alan Holland, how are you doing? We got Adam Carl. We got Ryan Renegade. And we also got plenty more to come here. I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to be piling on in to the chat room very, very soon. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to come and watch me here on YouTube. We have a lot to discuss. I see that Rob Wells Jr. has already shared out the stream. He has already shared out the stream, which is great. And we are going to get plenty more people in here sooner rather than later. I want to thank each and every single one of you for supporting me for as long as you have. I'm doing all right, Mr. Alan Holland Jr., to answer your question. I'm doing all right. I actually started a new job on Monday, a new credit and collections analytical job, and I'm actually learning a lot as far as that job goes. I have been doing a lot of invoices. I have been doing a lot of check refunds, material like that. It's not bad at all. It's not bad at all. Obviously, the beginning portions of it is hard simply because of the fact that I don't know too much. I don't really know what I'm getting myself into, and obviously it's going to take a while for me to get integrated into the systems, for me to learn all of the processes and stuff like that. But I feel as though it is going to work out very well. I'm doing a lot of material in the first week and 2 weeks, actually, of my tenure over at this one company. And I'm actually glad that I'm still able to do this. I'm still able to do this, and I'm still able to get this content out for you guys. Obviously, a few things are changing. There's going to be no more weekday uploads. It's strictly going to be weekends, weekend streams. I'm probably going to do live rundowns before the pay-per-views, whether they're on a Saturday or whether they're on Sundays. It is definitely going to be a different type of change, but I feel as though it'll be a good change for me. It'll teach me to budget my time a little bit better. I know Rob has been dealing with a lot of bullshit on social media, but Rob, I greatly appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come and watch me. I greatly appreciate you sticking by me. I greatly appreciate you always supporting me, being a loyal DJ Storms posse member. That's why I sent you the wristband, brother. That's why I sent you the wristband. Thank you very much, Mr. Ryan Renegade, for sharing it out. Let me check that you did. We also got Peanuts in the chat. How you doing, Mr. Peanuts? Hey, he did. Ryan Renegade with the share. Thank you very much. Be sure you tag me when you share it. I saw Rob. I saw Ryan Renegade. Anyone else, please make sure you share it out. It is vital. We got a lot of material to talk about. I'm telling you, we got a lot of material to talk about, including Tessa Blanchard signing with the new relaunch of Women of Wrestling. Johnny Gargano has removed all NXT references from his bio on Twitter. And big one right here, Asuka could very well be in line for a heel turn. And we're going to discuss why, even though it could be a great move for Asuka, in the long run, it's not really going to mean anything because I do not trust WWE to do anything right with Asuka, as they have not done it right before. We're going to dive into all those news, rumors, and reports. Plus, I got the weekly show reviews. I got Raw. I got AEW. I got NXT UK. I got SmackDown and Rampage. I do not have NXT this week simply because of the fact that I just did not give a shit about NXT this week. It did not do anything for me. It was not fun. It did not really stick out. We had some decent wrestling on the show here and there, and the debut of Tony D'Angelo was great. I love Tony D'Angelo. The people on social media seem to love Tony D'Angelo. He's making shockwaves throughout the IWC as it is, and I think Tony D'Angelo is going to be a big player in NXT. I love the way that he comes off. He can damn sure wrestle. He's got a great look. I like it. I really do. But outside of that, NXT just isn't worth covering. But I will be covering the Halloween Havoc episode. I will say that much. I will be covering the Halloween Havoc episode of NXT towards the end of the month. So if anyone's wondering when I will be covering NXT next, I will do it then. I'm mainly just going to stick to covering the quote-unquote big episodes of NXT, if I'm going to be quite honest. I'm mainly going to stick to covering the big episodes. If I'm free and I'm not really doing too much, then I'll probably cover that one big episode of NXT, like a TakeOver go-home show, if they still do the takeovers, maybe a Halloween Havoc or a special NXT event, or maybe I'll just cut it out altogether if they just fall into a down period. I mean, they're already in a down period, but I may very well cut them off altogether. But that's the plan and the news regarding me and reviewing NXT from here on out. Next Saturday, Dynamite will be live on Saturday, October 16th from Miami. So I will not be covering that. But I will be covering all the rest of the weekly shows. And I also got a big announcement for next Sunday. I'm going to be moving the rundowns to Sundays or Saturdays before pay-per-views. And what we are going to do is we are going to have guests on the rundown right here through StreamYard, since it is a great platform to use. And what we are going to do is we are going to have Mr. All Elite Mikey, a.k.a. Mikey Williams. He is a good friend of mine, recently just squashed some beef that we had. He actually hated me, but now he loves me. And he's a good friend of mine. He's a very good guy to talk to, very down-to-earth guy. He was actually at AEW Dynamite Grand Slam. I will be having him on the channel next Sunday. That is right, 1 week from tomorrow, and we are going to be previewing and predicting the WWE Crown Jewel 2021 pay-per-view, which is set to stream live on Peacock at noon on October 21st. So if you want to hear my thoughts, my takes, my preview, and my predictions, as well as Mikey's on the Crown Jewel pay-per-view coming up, please make sure you set your calendar dates for October 17th, 2021. I will have more details to come as we get closer to that date. And you're damn right, I got my little bit of the bubbly shirt on. Little bit of the bubbly. Even though I don't drink. I stick to the soda. I stick to Sprite. Just give me a nice cold Sprite. I don't need fucking vodka. I don't need tequila. I don't need whiskey. I don't need Guinnesses or any types of beers. I don't need any of that. All I need is a nice ice cold fizzy Sprite or a Mountain Dew. Anyway, before we get into the news, rumors, and reports, please do me a favor and please make sure that you follow me on the Twitter sticks and the Instagram sticks at the DJ_Storms. It is vital that you do so, because when you do so, you will greatly help me grow and expand on social media. Please make sure you follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the DJ_Storms. The link is, of course, in the description. If you do not already know, please make sure that you also add me on Facebook for collaborations and business inquiries. Please make sure you send me an email. My email is, of course, StormsTakeOver@gmail.com. Please make sure you like the official DJ Storms business page, and I may just send you an invite to join the official DJ Storms Posse group on Facebook. That is. All of those links are in the description. Please make sure you go check those out. And of course, if you have not already done so, we are 10 minutes into the video. If you have not liked the video, I don't know what the hell you're doing. It is vital that you hit that like button on the video because it helps me out and it helps the channel out. And we want to make sure we get as many people in here as possible. Everyone wants DJ Storms. I'm telling you, they may not admit it, but everybody wants a piece of DJ Storms. So we want to share it out on all platforms, social media that you can. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, Tumblr, TikTok, Snapchat, whatever social media platforms that you use, share it out and get as many people in here as possible. I'm talking about your mothers and your fathers, your sons and your daughters, your brothers, your sisters, your aunts, your uncles, your grandmothers, your grandfathers, your 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th cousins, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times removed. Your dogs, your cats, and especially, man, your guinea pigs, because I've had to switch to StreamYard. I said this last week. For those of you that missed it, I had to switch to StreamYard because my OBS was running slow, because I have so many articles lodged in my laptop that specifically state if guinea pigs are exposed to DJ Storms, they live long, happy, healthy, and fruitful lives. So please make sure you share it out on all platforms, social media, and notify your guinea pigs, man. Notify those guinea pigs. Please make sure you hit the subscribe button if you haven't already done so, and hit that notifications bell, baby, with a huge coup de grace, because that way you will know whenever I pop up on YouTube. Because whenever I pop up on YouTube, baby, it is the best time to be on YouTube, because it's the only time you're going to get to see this glorious sideburn chin strap combination and this beautiful mustache right here. Give me 1 second. Oh, yeah, like Macho Man. Oh, yeah. We're going to light it up right here with a little and a dash of and a whole lot of because everybody wants a piece of the Storms Meister. All right. Anyway, enough of the self-brand promotion, the advertisements. We're going to get straight into the festivities here on the LFU. Hula Grim is in the chat. Hula Grim's in the chat. He already knows. We got to watch out for them guinea pigs. Got to make sure them guinea pigs, their hearts are nice and healthy when DJ Storms gets a little taste of them. Or at least they get a little taste of DJ Storms. The other way around. Anyway, we're going to get into the festivities here. You damn right I got a huge pop. You damn fucking right. Keep sharing out the stream and get as many people in here as possible. We're going to talk about the news, rumors, and reports that we got for today. And we are going to start off with controversy. I mean, like, I'm as controversial as they come, but there hasn't been an individual that has generated so much controversy over the course of the last year and a half like Tessa Blanchard. Women of Wrestling. Wow. They announced that they are relaunching their company with a new television deal starting next year. Tessa Blanchard has indeed signed a deal with the promotion. AJ Lee also signed with the company as an executive producer. And those signings were made official this week. The company also happened to make a new t-shirt for Tessa Blanchard with the word nuclear on it. Of course, this was playing off of Cassidy Haynes of Bodyslam.net and his report stating that Tessa Blanchard is quote-unquote nuclear with WWE and AEW, as neither of those promotions want anything to do with her. Now, I stated this before when we talked about the original report from Cassidy Haynes. I stated that I don't believe these allegations. I don't believe the allegations because there has been no factual video, photographic, or audio evidence that has been brought forth to the table, specifically stating that Tessa Blanchard did this. All that we have to go based on is the words of the many people that she worked with. And whether you want to admit it or not, people in this era more so than any other era in human history, have been known to conspire and lie. That's why I don't believe these allegations. I am a firm believer in innocent until proven guilty, and that is the mentality that everyone should be operating with nowadays, because we have damned and outcasted many people that ended up turning out to be innocent. Everyone outcasted and damned Enzo, and he ended up turning out to be innocent. But I stated this, and it still holds true, especially with this new t-shirt deal that they have going on with Tessa Blanchard and Women of Wrestling signing Tessa Blanchard and bringing her in. It still holds true what I said. Whether these allegations are true or not is completely irrelevant. It's irrelevant at this rate, because the heat has gotten so bad to a point where she has nothing left that she can do except for one thing. She cannot just sit around and expect things to go away on their own. She can't just remain silent. She can't just go about her business as if nothing is wrong. It's not going to work. Tessa Blanchard, I said it once and I'll say it again. The woman is backed into a corner and she is out of appeals. She has nothing left that she can do but apologize. I don't give a shit whether these allegations are true or not. At the end of the day, the heat is so bad that there is nothing left that she can do but apologize. If she did indeed do and say the things that she is accused of, the first thing that she must do is reach out to the individuals that she had wronged, privately apologize, and then publicly apologize. Even if she didn't do it, publicly apologize anyway, because that is the only way that she will start to really get back into the good graces of the people of the wrestling community. And then after she apologizes, she needs to back up her words through actions over the course of however long it takes, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, so forth, going into the future. And then and only then, if people are still hating on her after she had already apologized and she backed up her apology through actions, then they become the problem. The people that hate her will in turn become the problem, because what do they have to hate her for? She already apologized and she backed up her apology through actions. If you're still making excuses to hate her after she does that, then they become the problem. But right now, Tessa is the problem. Tessa is the problem because she is the one that is just remaining silent throughout all of this. She's just expecting things to get better on their own and expecting things to go away. That's not how this works. I said it once and I'll say it again. It doesn't matter which promotion signs Tessa Blanchard. I do not see any of these promotional deals, whether it be WOW or NWA or fucking MLW or whatever other promotion wants to look at Tessa. I do not see any of these promotional deals lasting very long. And Women of Wrestling, I'm telling you, whoever came up with the idea for this nuclear t-shirt, that right there is going to be a huge fucking blemish on their promotion. Tessa was already a blemish just based off of the allegations. But I'm telling you right now, with this new t-shirt, I am telling you that this promotion is in for a rude awakening. The heat is going to be so bad to a point where everyone is just going to be vehemently shitting all over this promotion, no matter even if they put on some decent shows. No matter who else is on television, whether it be AJ Lee, whether it be, I don't know, whoever else they sign to the promotion, whoever else they feature on TV, whoever their champion is, it doesn't matter. As long as Tessa is employed with that company, especially after what they did with the new t-shirt deal, I am telling you, the heat is going to be so bad that it's going to cause the promotion to flop right on its fucking face. And on top of that, they're going to have to cut ties with Tessa. It doesn't matter whether these allegations are true or not. The heat is so bad that wherever she goes, she is going to generate a bad vibe around whatever promotion, whatever wrestling match, whatever storyline, whatever she's around. People go out and shit on fucking Izzy, and she's a fucking kid. She's a fucking child, and people go shit on her just because she's being trained by Tessa. Do I think that's right? No, absolutely not. It's not right at all. It's not right at all. You have no right to pass judgment on a fucking child like that, no matter if she's old enough to think for herself, no matter what. You don't have any right to pass judgment on a fucking child just because who she's friends with. Maybe she knows something that you don't, but at the end of the day, people are still shitting on her just because she's merely associated with Tessa Blanchard. If they would go out of their way to fucking shit on a child for being associated with Tessa Blanchard after the supposed allegations that came out, what do you think they're going to do to this new promotion? You think they're going to cut this new promotion some slack? Hell fucking no. Hell fucking no. Tessa Blanchard is out of appeals. I don't give a shit whether the allegations are true or not. It is irrelevant at this rate. Whether I believe that Tessa's telling the truth or whether I believe that the other women that accused her of this are telling the truth, it doesn't matter. She is out of appeals, and she has nothing left that she can do but apologize. And at this rate, sometimes you just have to give in and apologize. The fact that Tessa Blanchard has not, and she's being silent, and she's almost being in a sense, she's almost being a petulant child about it. Like she's sitting there with her arms crossed, sitting there silent, almost like a kid holding his breath because he's not getting what he wants. Just fucking apologize. Back up your words through actions, and then if people are still shitting on you after you did all that, then they become the problem. But right now, you are the problem, and I'm speaking directly to Tessa. Just apologize, work through your actions to get better, show people publicly and privately that you have changed and you have matured, and then people will start forgiving you. More people will be like me, and they'll be more open to you. And then if people are still shitting on you, it's just going to fall on deaf ears at that point because you've already apologized and you backed up your apology through actions. If people are still shitting on you after that, then that's their problem. And no one's going to pay them any attention because you've already proven that you changed. But Tessa Blanchard has not said a fucking word. Women of Wrestling is in for a rude awakening with this new t-shirt stunt. And with the fact that Tessa Blanchard has yet to even speak on the issue. It's not a good look for him. It's not. Johnny Gargano. It was reported, I believe it was 2 weeks ago, if I'm not mistaken. 2 weeks ago, Johnny Gargano. He was reportedly in the books for his contract to come up on December 3rd, I believe it was. December 3rd of this year. And ever since that report came out, Johnny Gargano actually added fuel to the fire. He added fuel to the fire of this rumor of him possibly leaving the company as he removed all NXT references from his bio on Twitter. Now, I'm not sure if this is Gargano legitimately hinting that he is not re-signing a deal, or this could be Johnny Gargano just playing into the rumors on social media. Maybe he's trolling everyone. But if I'm going to be quite honest with you, I would not be surprised if Johnny Gargano ends up leaving. I would not be surprised at all if Johnny Gargano ends up leaving. And to be quite honest with you, if I was Johnny Gargano, with how they are booking NXT, especially with this new edict, I would just fucking walk. I would just fucking walk at this rate because at the end of it all, we are in for a complete revamp, if not already, with NXT. We are in for a complete revamp, if not already, with NXT. And we are at a point where NXT has done away with all of the independent wrestlers. And as soon as Braun Breaker, Bronson Steiner, Rex Steiner, as soon as he wins the NXT Championship from Tommaso Ciampa, which I fully expect him to at Halloween Havoc in a couple weeks, that's it. I wouldn't be surprised if Tommaso Ciampa ends up leaving the company too. Maybe he fucking retires and becomes a producer. I don't know. But I don't expect Tommaso Ciampa to walk out of Halloween Havoc with the NXT Championship. I don't. So Johnny Gargano, him getting the fuck out of there is probably the best fucking option for his career. It's probably the best option for his career because I do not see him hanging around very much longer at all. Even if he signs a new deal, he's going to be used as nothing more than a fucking enhancement talent. Look what they fucking did to Toni Storm this past Friday, or yesterday rather, on SmackDown. Look at what they did to her. You expect any different or any better from Johnny Gargano? No. Johnny Gargano is a Triple H guy, and they're punishing Triple H and all of his team for upstaging Vince McMahon and his team for so many years. And then when AEW came around, Vince McMahon threw NXT right in front of the fire against AEW for these Wednesday night wars, and NXT failed. So now Vince McMahon is blaming Triple H for all of his own failures. And he's taking it out on the individuals that were directly associated and created by Triple H. If I was Johnny Gargano, I would walk. But those are the latest on Johnny Gargano's potential departure from the WWE. Speaking of a departure, there's another guy that a lot of people want to depart from the WWE. One guy that people want to see depart from the WWE is Chad Gable, and Dave Meltzer of Wrestling Observer Newsletter, he provided an update on people's feelings towards Chad Gable. He stated that he's got a lot of friends that desire for him to go to All Elite Wrestling. He said, and I quote, "A lot of his friends want him to go to AEW, but you know, and I don't know what the contract situation is for him, but he's been so misused." End quote. Dave Meltzer, whether you like it or not, Dave Meltzer is 100% correct. Whether you want to admit it or not, Chad Gable's misused. He's been misused for a long, long time. They broke up American Alpha way too fucking soon, number one. And then they barely even gave Chad Gable an opportunity to show us what he can do. They barely even gave Chad Gable a fucking opportunity to showcase to us what he can do. Then came the King of the Ring in 2019, and he put on a fantastic fucking performance in that tournament where he realistically could have been the next Daniel Bryan if you wanted him to be. He could have easily been the next Daniel Bryan, and they dropped the ball on Chad Gable. They completely dropped the ball on Chad Gable. Now he's in this tag team with Otis in the Alpha Academy, and they're doing some great work. Matter of fact, if it was me, I would absolutely build them up to take the Raw Tag Team titles off of RK Bro. Matter of fact, I don't even fucking know why RK Bro are still feuding with fucking AJ Styles and Black Great Khali. I don't know why they are still feuding with AJ and Omos. It's fucking stupid. But I don't know what the contract situation is for Chad Gable. I believe Dax Harwood of FTR said that his contract was coming up soon. I'm not sure how true that is. Maybe he's just trolling people on social media and adding fuel to the fire, kind of like Johnny Gargano was trolling social media, quote unquote, and adding fuel to the fire of the rumors of him possibly leaving the company. I don't know. I'm not aware. I do not have any inside sources. I am not 1,000% sure, but I'm going to keep an eye on this very, very closely. Whatever happens with Chad Gable, I don't know. I don't know. Now, I'm not sure if he would really flourish in AEW just yet, only because of the fact that their roster is just so fucking stacked right now. AEW has the best roster out of any roster in the professional wrestling industry right now. They are the top of the line when it comes to their roster. Even their women's division has gotten a lot better. They have the best tag team division in the world. They have the best main event and mid-card divisions in the world. Even their women's division is starting to come around. It's not perfect, but it's starting to really come around. When you compare it to WWE, it looks like fucking Stardom. But at the end of this, Chad Gable, I don't know what's going on with Chad Gable. Now, if it was me, I would absolutely walk as well, because WWE, they have shown you that unless your name is Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, or fucking Bill Goldberg or Brock Lesnar, they don't value you. They don't value you. If 60% of the WWE roster walked out right now, I guarantee you Vince McMahon would not even bat an eyelash, because he says, "Oh no, I got Roman Reigns. Oh, we don't need Finn Balor. Or we don't need Cesaro. Or we don't need Shinsuke Nakamura." Whatever. If I was Chad Gable, I'd walk. Rey Mysterio, before he returned to action last night on SmackDown, he was actually sidelined with an undisclosed medical injury. There were no further details specified on this injury. All I know is that he is officially back in the ring. And I know people want me to talk about the Tony Khan tweet. Trust me on that. I know. I see a lot of people in the chat. I see Earl. I see Rob Wells Jr. I see Hula Grim. They were all talking about the tweet by Tony Khan, and I will address that right now. I also see DD lurking. So Tony Khan actually sent the E-drones into a fucking frenzy. Tony Khan, he tweeted out after Rampage went off the air, after WWE announced supersized SmackDown, which is going to be an overrun of SmackDown. They are going 2.5 hours, which bleeds into Rampage. That is next Friday, I believe? Yeah, it's next Friday. It's bleeding into Rampage. So Tony Khan, like a fucking boss, he tweeted out, "I saw you're doing a half-hour head-to-head with us. I can't wait to finally beat your main show head-to-head. It's been a long time coming. See you next Friday for hashtag AEW Rampage on @AEW on TNT. Of course, this one threw the E-drones into a fucking frenzy. Well, you see, AEW, they have WWE living rent-free in their heads. You see, AEW can't operate without mentioning the WWE. Like these fucking petulant children, as if they are getting fucking paid by the WWE. Tony Khan's taking no fucking prisoners. And I'm telling you right now, if you are one of these people that are trying to make the excuse of, oh, WWE is living rent-free in AEW's head, you are a fucking retard. You really are. You see, a verbal shot on social media or a verbal shot on television here or there, that doesn't mean that AEW is having WWE live rent-free in their heads. That doesn't mean that AEW can't stop thinking about WWE. You do realize why they do it, right? They do it to get under the marks on social media. They do it to get under the skin of all of these individuals that just suck the cock of WWE. They do it to get under the skin of all these individuals that will plant the fucking WWE flag in the ground and fucking salute the company and suck Vince McMahon's testicles and brush their teeth with his pubic hair. And they do this specifically to spark up a reaction and make all of the people that hate on AEW for no reason cry. And anyone that gets mad at what they're doing, you are playing right into their trap. You know that people are actually getting mad at fucking AEW for tweeting out an article that wasn't even fucking written by them? Just because the article mentioned that WWE has competition. I mean, where's the lies there? It's true, especially with what they're doing in the fucking ticket sales. AEW is actually outselling WWE in their ticket sale averages. They outsold WWE in the ticket sale averages for events throughout the month of September. But AEW is not competition. But AEW can't be proud of the product that they're putting on. Oh, but AEW can't say a fucking word about WWE. Yet we had Roman Reigns come out in Madison Square Garden on SmackDown just a month ago and say, oh, WWE owns New York City. Meanwhile, we had Grand Slam coming up in a week and a half, and everyone just glossed over Roman Reigns' comment. Oh, yeah, WWE can do it. Oh, but AEW shouldn't do it. So, which one is it? You can't have one but have the other. You can't have one but not have the other. It's either they both can say it or they both can't say it. You can't say, oh, WWE gets a pass, but AEW doesn't get a pass. On top of that, if AEW truthfully operated with WWE on their minds, then they would have made booking decisions that would have been based off of what WWE is doing, and they've never done that. If AEW wanted to compete directly with WWE and AEW wanted to start a fucking war and they operated with WWE on their minds, you know what would have happened? They would have put Dynamite on either Monday or Friday, and they didn't. They didn't. Oh, and don't give me the fucking excuse of, oh, they put it on Wednesday to combat NXT. No, they didn't. No, they didn't. NXT deliberately moved over to the USA Network specifically because Vince McMahon wanted to try and stop AEW's momentum, and he failed. On top of that, AEW, they just do their own thing. They do their own thing, and they operate with a long-term vision for the future without WWE on their minds. They take shots at WWE specifically to work you. And if you are getting worked up by them, you are giving them exactly what they want. And you have ousted yourself as a fucking loser. You have ousted yourself as a fucking loser mark that sucks the WWE cock and gets pissed off arguing with people on social media at 3:30 in the morning. Meanwhile, WWE, every other decision that they have made, with NXT moving to the USA Network, trying to expand people's contracts, every other move that they've made, even the fucking King of the Ring tournament, fucking Queen's Crown tournament, fucking Big E cashing in his Money in the Bank contract on Raw for no fucking reason. Every other move that they've made has deliberately been based off of what AEW is doing to try and counter-program them, because AEW right now is white fucking hot. They are on fucking fire right now to a point where WWE, they have lost so much interest that the ratings for SmackDown are even starting to dip. The overnight ratings barely were over 2 million. What's going to happen on Monday when we get the actual ratings? If they're under 2 million, it just goes to show you how much of a dip in interest there is in the current WWE product. Plain and simple. If you are mad at AEW tweeting out that they're looking to beat WWE head-to-head, or they take shots at WWE verbally, or they are tweeting out articles that weren't even fucking written by them stating that WWE is competition, if you are mad at any of this, and you're saying that, oh, AEW is letting WWE live rent-free in their heads, but yet you gloss over WWE taking shots and deliberately trying to counter-program AEW, then you are a fucking retard. And you need to fucking check yourself, because you have absolutely zero brain cells. Just like Hit Row has zero balls. I'm talking to Isaiah Swerve Scott and AJ Francis. Unbelievable. Earl Cole is in the chat. He's awesome. As well as Miss Lady Hawk. Please make sure you hit that like button, Miss Lady Hawk. I'm proud to see you here in the chat. We have plenty more to talk about. We are going to talk about Braun Strowman, the stupid Express, the dummy Express, Braun Strowman, who recently just had a cinematic match with EC3. Braun Strowman Braun Strowman, according to Ringside News, quote unquote, keeps trying to get his job back. The site originally reported that WWE has shown no interest in re-signing Braun Strowman. The news report read, and I quote, "We circled back to our original sources and were able to attain more information. Ringside News was additionally told that WWE is not approaching Braun Strowman. Braun keeps trying to get his job back. We are told so far there's no interest." Before the 2021 WWE Draft, Raw and SmackDown writing teams were asked, "Any interest in Braun?" Both teams told Vince McMahon, Bruce Pritchard, and John Laurinaitis that there is quote-unquote no interest. Both writing teams were asked the same question, and they came back with the same response. End quote. End quote. If this is true, which I actually do believe is true, because Braun Strowman, he damn sure knows. He damn sure fucking knows that he is not succeeding anywhere. He's not succeeding anywhere but the WWE. He's not succeeding anywhere but the WWE, specifically because of the fact that he's talentless. He's talentless. He cannot keep up with the style that the independent scene of professional wrestling does. He can't. All he can do is run around the ring. He can run around the ring. He can raise his arms up high, and he can flip over heavy things. That's it. That's it. He can put on one decent match every couple years, just like he did this past May at WrestleMania Backlash with Bobby Lashley and Drew McIntyre. But outside of that, I don't really know what to tell you. Strowman doesn't have any value. Now, I will say this, WWE did drop the ball on Braun Strowman, and they did mistreat Braun Strowman, but after a while, Braun Strowman just regressed in the ring, and he showed everyone that he's just not worth investing your time in. Plain and simple. He's just not worth investing your time in. I don't really know what I could say as far as this goes. And it's quite pathetic if Braun Strowman is genuinely trying to get his job back. He's pretty much admitting failure, and he's pretty much admitting that he cannot succeed outside of the WWE. And if that's the case, you know what? AEW shouldn't sign him either. My final report before we move on to the news, rumors, and reports, and trust me, I got a lot to say about that. Ringside News, they recently noted that Asuka tweeted out a photo of herself on a poster of the television series Breaking Bad. She was alongside the main character. This genuinely hinted a heel turn. This seemingly hinted a heel turn. I believe the main character's name is Heisenberg. The main character, Heisenberg, she tweeted a photo of herself alongside Heisenberg, and this seemingly hinted a heel turn for her, according to the site, because this correlated with Walter White's story from an ordinary chemistry teacher to a drug kingpin, for those of you who watch Breaking Bad. Now, I don't watch Breaking Bad. I just did a little bit of research, and I found that. But Asuka apparently hinted a heel turn. Now, would a heel turn be necessary for Asuka? Maybe. Maybe because Asuka really has grown stale as a babyface, and Asuka has just been in such a shit state for so long as well. I don't think Asuka has looked decent ever since maybe the triple threat TLC ladder match back at TLC in 2018 between herself, Charlotte, and Becky. I don't know. That was the last time I can remember Asuka looked semi-decent. Maybe the match with Becky at the 2019 Royal Rumble. That's it. That's it. So a heel turn, it would probably spark up some interest in Asuka. and it would probably do Asuka a little bit of good, but let's be honest here. Why is Asuka stale as a babyface? It's not her fault. That's WWE's fault. WWE has booked Asuka like shit. And it doesn't matter if she has accomplished everything there is to accomplish in the women's division. Asuka has been booked like a fucking joke. Asuka has been booked so fucking poorly that people don't even fucking realize that she's still employed with the company. I have not seen anyone asking for Asuka ever since she went down with a supposed arm injury at Money in the Bank. Asuka has not been seen or heard of since then, and I have not seen or heard anyone say anything. I have not seen or heard anyone even attempt to raise their hand to say, hey, where's Asuka? They are just glossing over it because Asuka's been booked so poorly that we don't even realize that she's gone. The show is booked so poorly that we don't even realize that some of these individuals who are the best professional wrestlers that WWE could fucking find, we don't even realize that they're off of television. Asuka is stale because of WWE booking. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if Asuka even turns heel. It doesn't matter if Asuka even turns heel because at the end of the day, what we are going to circle back around to is booking. It's booking. How many times have we had a scenario where someone changed up their character or changed up their look or changed up anything about them and it was really coming along, and then all of a sudden WWE pulls a snap booking decision and absolutely ruins what they have with that individual? Look at Happy Corbin. Baron Corbin was terrible with the King gimmick. He turned the gimmick around into a Happy Corbin gimmick. And you know something? It was working. It wasn't bad. Then they introduced Madcap Moss, and now his gimmick is nothing more than a repetitive, smiley, laughing goof. How is that supposed to really resonate with the audience? How is that supposed to generate interest? How is that the natural progression of a guy like Baron Corbin? It all comes down to the booking. And at the end of it all, it doesn't matter what Asuka does. It doesn't matter what Corbin does. It doesn't matter what anyone does. The people who are in charge, Bruce Pritchard, John Laurinaitis, Kevin Dunn, Nick Khan, Vince McMahon, the only way that the WWE and any of these superstars are even going to get 1 ounce of the proper respect and opportunities that they deserve is when all of those men are no longer in power. Until then, you can't put your faith and trust in anything. How long did it take Vince McMahon to fucking turn Roman Reigns heel? And there are already plans. There are already plans for fucking Roman Reigns to be a babyface again. He should never fucking be babyface ever again after this fucking heel run. Never again. We don't need to go back to fucking Cena 2.0. We don't fucking need that. So it doesn't matter whether Asuka turns heel or not. Doesn't matter whether Asuka turns heel or not, because at the end of the day, she is still not going to get the proper respect. She's still not going to get the proper opportunities, and she's not going to get the proper booking that she needs and deserves. Pretty much. After her NXT run, she was dead. She was buried. And there was actually a few people that were buried this week on WWE television. Those are your news, rumors, and reports, people. Those are your news, rumors, and reports. Let us check the chat. Hooligrim's calling Madcap Moss Mad Cow Moss. I'd much rather take a fucking mad cow than Riddick Moss. What else? Earl Cole. Asuka's ruined by WWE. They destroyed her star power. Tell me something I don't know, man. Tell me something I don't know. We have plenty more material to go through, including Monday Night Raw and Night 2 of the WWE Draft. I was very disappointed I was very disappointed with the WWE Draft. Well, the whole entire thing was a fucking disappointment, and the draft as a whole was fucking boring. But I was very disappointed because there was no Wildcat Keith Lee. We did not see Zac Efron. We did not see Vanessa Hudgens. We did not see fucking Mowgli from the Jungle Book. Looks like those bare necessities of life are not coming to me. Rather disappointing. Shout out to Hologram for that one. Rather disappointing that we did not see Baloo, a.k.a. Keith Lee, on Monday Night Raw. I'm pretty sure we'll see him again next week at some point. Maybe they took him off of television. Maybe they're getting ready to fucking release him. Even though they just drafted him. Monday Night Raw, WWE Draft Night 2, kicked off with Becky Lynch and she came out to the ring, took the mic. She looked fucking stupid. She goes, "I'm the man and I do what I want." And the first draft pick for Monday Night Raw is Big Time Bex. This is my show now. Oh, great. So now we're going to get this terrible fucking nonsensical heel turn. We're going to get this on Monday Night Raw now. Great. And trust me, I've been doing a lot of fucking ranting on this. She goes, "I was the longest reigning Raw Women's Champion. The last time I beat Charlotte Flair, she couldn't stand it. I think it's time to become Becky Two Belts again." All of a sudden, Charlotte Flair came out, and I think everybody here knows the code. And we are going to piss a lot of people off here with what I'm about to say, and I want to make sure everyone in the IWC knows the code here. The code is... Fuck Charlotte Flair! Fuck Charlotte Flair. And all of her supporters. They are all mindless sheep that do nothing but suck her fake tits. And I hate them all. So Charlotte Flair came out. To meet her counterpart, Becky Flair. So Becky Flair and Charlotte Flair were out in the ring. She goes, "Let me say hello to my old friend Bex. Before you were Becky Two Belts, you were Becky Pre-Show. You'll always be inferior to me, but that's a good thing. You left SmackDown because we got some unfinished business." All of a sudden, Bianca Belair came out, twirling her braid, doing whatever. So Bianca Belair says, "I got some unfinished business with the both of you. Since you both took cheap shots at me, none of you are ready for the EST of WWE to become the EST of Monday Night Raw. I'm sorry, Bianca. You ain't becoming the EST of Monday Night Raw. Nothing on Monday Night Raw is EST. As far as good EST relates, we have a lot of ESTs on Monday Night Raw. We have the lamest. We have the... What else? What are other words? See, this is why I'm not a fucking English major. Give me some EST words that are bad. We got the lamest. We got the uncoolest. Those are two EST words that describe Monday Night Raw perfectly. You'll be the lamest individual on Monday Night Raw, Bianca Belair. So Charlotte told Bianca to shh. The crowd chanted, "Charlotte sucks." And you are absolutely correct. There we go. Adam Carl and Earl Cole coming in clutch. The dumbest, the stupidest. Thank you very much. That's why I love the DJ Storm's posse. So Bianca goes, "You don't even go here anymore." Charlotte goes, "You should be thanking me for paving the way for you." Becky said, "I could fight Charlotte right now, but I've beaten her so many times. You two have never fought before." Really? Becky goes, "Oh, you two have never fought before. Really? So, what you're telling me is that whatever happened on NXT in February of 2020, that was just a fucking optical illusion. That was just a dream. Or did it happen in WWE 2K20? Was it my imagination? Was it my imagination?" So Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair from NXT in February of 2020 never happened. Oh, wait a minute. That was when NXT was actually a good wrestling show. Back when Triple H was operating it. And of course, you can't give Triple H any credit, right? Right. Did they even realize how fucking stupid they look? Do they even fucking realize how fucking stupid they look? Saying, "Oh, you two have never fought." And then you have fucking Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce come out and make the match for the main event, and they say, "For the first time ever, Bianca Belair and Charlotte Flair." Are you serious? I swear to God, I fucking hate this company with a passion. So, they make the match. They also made a women's tag team title match. Oh, yeah, another rematch between Rhea Ripley, Nikki Trash, and then Tamina and Natalya. And then they also announced another rematch. Jeff Hardy versus Damian Priest for the U.S. title. So before the United States title match, they announced another round of draft picks. Becky Lynch was drafted to Raw. The Usos was drafted to SmackDown. Bobby Lashley was traded to Monday Night Raw. And then SmackDown, they snagged Sasha. So let me just remind you, everyone. Let's talk about Crown Jewel for just a minute. Crown Jewel, we got Becky Lynch defending the SmackDown Women's title against Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Yet Sasha Banks is the only SmackDown participant in that match. Now, by logic, this is my logic at least, by logic, Sasha Banks is going to win back the championship. By logic, Sasha Banks is going to become the SmackDown Women's Champion. Now, I'm not sure if Charlotte Flair is going to defend the Raw Women's title at Crown Jewel. I'm not sure what's going down with Charlotte Flair at Crown Jewel. I don't know what's going on. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I'm not sure if we are going to see a match between Charlotte and someone else on Raw. Maybe a Shayna Baszler. I don't know. I have absolutely no fucking idea. Could we possibly see Asuka make a return? And we see Asuka versus Charlotte Flair? I don't know. To be quite honest with you. I don't give a shit. Do we see Dakota Kai come on in? Do we see who else? Who else got drafted fucking Raw? That's a woman. Do we see Bayley make a return? Does Bayley come to Monday Night Raw? Maybe she made a speedy recovery. I don't fucking know. But if you're not going to have Becky and Charlotte trade the championships, that could very well become a thing. But if you're not going to have them trade the championships and Sasha Banks is the only SmackDown participant in that match, logically, that means that Sasha's going to win back the championship. But here's my question. I got multiple questions. Number one, if that was the case and you were going to trade Becky to Monday Night Raw, since Fox wanted Charlotte, why did you even give Becky and Charlotte the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships? Why is Charlotte the Raw Women's Champion, and why is Becky the SmackDown Women's Champion? Why did you have to have Becky squash Bianca Belair? Why did you have to have Becky squash Bianca Belair in order for her to win the championship, only to get Bianca on Raw if you were going to trade Bianca to Raw, and then you were going to trade Becky to Raw as well and keep Sasha on SmackDown? What was the fucking point? And with that being said, if Sasha ends up winning the title back at Crown Jewel, why the fuck did you even take the title off of her at WrestleMania to begin with? Why did you take the title off of Sasha Banks at WrestleMania with Bianca Belair to even begin with? Why did you go through all that trouble to build up Bianca, to have her lose and get buried in 30 seconds, only to have Becky hold the championship for 2 months just to give it right back to Sasha Banks? You're going around in circles and nobody looks good. Nobody looks good. If Bianca was going to move to Raw, you should have waited. You should have waited to take the title off of Bianca Belair. Bianca should have lost the championship back to Sasha, or Bianca Belair should have gone into SummerSlam against a new star. Bianca Belair should have gone into SummerSlam, or you could have had the Queen of the Ring tournament debut after SummerSlam instead of waiting for fucking Crown Jewel. I don't even know why they're doing the finals at fucking Crown Jewel with the Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring. And I got shit to say about that too. But why didn't you do the Queen of the Ring after SummerSlam, keep the title on Bianca, and then build up, I don't know, maybe a Sonya Deville, a Toni Storm, a Liv Morgan, and you could have had one of those individuals beat Bianca Belair and transfer that credibility from Bianca to them? I would have done Sonya Deville. Since you got this storyline going on with Sonya and Naomi, I would do Sonya Deville winning the Queen's Crown tournament, taking the title off of Bianca, and then you could have built up the story with Naomi potentially winning the Royal Rumble and taking the title off of Sonya at next year's WrestleMania. Why is it that I just came up with a better plan for the women's division in 30 fucking seconds? But WWE has all this fucking time, and they produce 90-second matches with the women every week on Raw and SmackDown. What more do you want me to say? What more do you want me to say? So if Sasha wins the championship back, building up Bianca would have been a waste. It was already a waste. Building up Bianca only to have Becky bury her at SummerSlam and then go on to have a 2-month title reign. Becky's title reign, Bianca's Rumble win, Bianca's title reign would have all been meaningless because you're putting the title right back on Sasha Banks. What the fuck are they doing? What are they doing? Shit like that, it just pisses me the fuck off. If Charlotte was going to SmackDown because Fox wanted her, Fox was asking for her for months, she shouldn't have won the Raw Women's title. Becky should have never won the SmackDown Women's title if she was going to be drafted to Raw. Bianca should have never lost the SmackDown Women's Championship. And Sasha should have remained on SmackDown feuding with Toni Storm while you built up someone new to take the title off of Bianca if you were going to move Bianca over to Monday Night Raw. Bianca should have dropped the title to Sonya Deville after Sonya Deville won the Queen's Crown tournament. And the tournament should have taken place from the end of SummerSlam. After SummerSlam ended, you start the tournament the next week on Raw, and then it should have gone all the way into Extreme Rules, with the finals taking place at Extreme Rules, Sonya winning, challenging Bianca Belair for the SmackDown Women's Championship, taking the title, and then building up that storyline with Naomi. No, but instead we're just wasting away the Sonya Deville-Naomi match next week on SmackDown because it's a super-sized SmackDown. Shit like that pisses me the fuck off. Damian Priest and Jeff Hardy. This was for the United States Championship. We get another rematch. This was a very, very basic match. The first match that they had was much better. I don't really know why we even needed this match if it wasn't going to get a lengthy amount of time. Priest with a cannonball off the steps to Hardy. Coming out from commercial, Hardy hit Whisper in the win for a 2. Hardy with a sling blade and a twist of fate. Hardy hit the Swanton bomb, but he took too long to cover as Priest rolled up Hardy in a crucifix pin for the win. Very, very basic match. The ending was great. And I love the ending, but the match, way, way, way too basic. Did not get enough time. I will say this, though. Damian Priest, he continues to look good. Damian Priest is doing a very good job with the United States Championship. The United States Championship is the only championship outside of the Universal Championship because Roman Reigns is holding that championship. The U.S. Championship is the only championship that actually feels like a championship next to the Universal Championship. And Priest is doing a very good job with this. Hardy was interviewed after the match before Austin Theory ran out and asked if he could take a selfie with Jeff Hardy. Then all of a sudden he attacked Jeff Hardy and took a selfie with Hardy's lifeless body. I thought that was excellent. Perfect way to introduce Austin Theory. And Austin Theory versus Jeff Hardy with Austin Theory winning, I got no issue with that. Matter of fact, if they play their cards right, we may just very well have the next heir to Damian Priest. LA Knight, he didn't get drafted. So if you want to build up anyone to take that U.S. title off of Damian Priest, Austin Theory's, he's your guy. Austin Theory's absolutely your guy to take the U.S. title off of Damian Priest. But not yet, though. So, after that, we get another round of draft picks. We got Seth Rollins being drafted to Raw. Got no problem with that. SmackDown selected Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boogs. Raw selected the United States Champion Damian Priest. Right decision. And SmackDown selected Sheamus. So Rollins and Sheamus, they traded brands. I got no issue with that. Matter of fact, Sheamus, he could be a great challenger for Shinsuke. I would love to see Sheamus in there fighting Shinsuke. I would love to see Sheamus in there fighting a Roman Reigns. Maybe, I don't know, a Cesaro. I'd love to see a bar feud. I'd love to see that. There's a lot of different material that you could very well go forth with. I absolutely would love to see Sheamus in there, potentially with a... Who else is on SmackDown? Love to see Sheamus in there with a Ricochet, maybe. You could really build a solid foundation on SmackDown in the mid-card with Sheamus and Ricochet and Shinsuke, and if you want to do, who else? Hardy's in there. A lot of good stuff. In there. Shayna Baszler and Dana Brooke. Shayna Baszler won with the Carrefour clutch in about 1 minute, rightfully so. Baszler attacked Brooke afterwards. All of a sudden, Doudrop came out to the ring with the fucking jazz hands, skipping to the ring like a fucking retard. And then all of a sudden, she turned her back on Shayna Baszler like a fucking retard. I don't know what the fuck she was doing, but that was fucking terrible. It looked so fucking overproduced. It's so unnatural, too. Who comes up with this shit? Who? So, Shayna then struck her in the back. Doudrop looked at her like, really? That was pretty much that. I'm assuming we will see Shayna Baszler versus Doudrop in the Queen's Crown tournament because they are on the opposite sides of the bracket We'll probably get them in the semifinals. But at this rate, I don't give a shit who wins the Queen's Crown tournament. I don't give a shit who wins the Queen's Crown tournament because that tournament is absolutely fucking meaningless at this rate. Mansoor and Mustafa Ali versus Humberto Carrillo and Angel Garza. This legitimately went 2 minutes. Ali was dropped onto the buckle head first, and he was pinned by Angel Garza. And that was it. I don't know who the fuck Mustafa Ali pissed off. But, man, Mustafa Ali, he's so fucking mistreated, it is not even funny. It really isn't. It's downright pathetic at this rate. I don't know who he pissed off, but in no way, shape, or form, should Mustafa Ali be losing constantly. Why is it that Ali always takes the pin? In these tag team matches? He gets pinned every single week. Why? What did he do? It's unbelievable. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce, they issued out another draft pick round. The third round, we had AJ Styles and Omos staying on Raw. Why? I don't fucking know. Styles should have been drafted to SmackDown, and Omos should have been drafted to the fucking unemployment line. SmackDown selected Shayna Baszler. That I have no issue with. I think that Shayna should favor better on SmackDown if she keeps up this momentum. I would give her the fucking SmackDown Women's Championship. Kevin Owens was drafted to Raw. He will be released, and he is going to be drafted to AEW as soon as February hits. And then SmackDown selected Xia Li, so Tian Sha is broken up. Big E, he came out to talk about beating Lashley, and then Drew challenging him. He then invited Drew McIntyre to come out to the ring. Drew did just that, and he goes, "It's a Drew day." Yes, it is. He goes, "I was drafted to SmackDown, but I got unfinished business on Raw. I'm Drew McIntyre, and I do things the old-fashioned way. You earned that championship. Congratulations. But you cashed in on an injured Bobby Lashley. But no one likes Lashley, so you know what? You did the world a favor," said Drew McIntyre. And then he challenged Big E for the WWE Championship. All of a sudden, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode came out. Ziggler said that Big E should be thanking him. He brought up the history with him and Drew McIntyre. He says he wants to thank you. Drew mocked Robert Roode as being a downgrade from Big E and Drew McIntyre. So Robert Roode says, "They all call me Big Bob." Big E goes, "Nobody calls you that." Ziggler demanded his thank you. And Big E said, "What y'all need is an ass whooping right now from me, Big E." And then Drew jumped in and he goes, "And me, Big D." And we get the tag team match between the Dirty Dogs and Big E and Big D. So, of course, Drew McIntyre was laughing after he made that Big D comment. And to be quite honest with you, I would have too. So we get Big D and Big E versus Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler. I barely paid attention to this. The wrestling wasn't bad, but this entire match in this segment was completely fucking meaningless. Why the fuck is Drew McIntyre even getting a WWE Championship match? You do realize you're making it overly predictable. No matter how good the match ends up being, it is overly fucking predictable. I'm sorry. So, Drew won with the Claymore to Ziggler. Big E then dropped Robert Roode with a big ending, and then he accepted Drew McIntyre's challenge at Crown Jewel. Who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? We had Reggie dodging the 24/7 title crew again. I don't even know why the fuck this is still a thing. I don't even know why the fuck this is still a thing. Kevin Owens came out. Tozawa interrupted him. And he took the mic and he says, "Let me say, Kevin Owens, welcome back to Monday Night Raw, but I don't want to fight you. I want to fight Reggie for the 24/7 title right now." Owens then gave Jackie Chan, Kung Fu Naki 2.0, a stunner, and that was it. Kevin Owens, man, they are placing him in some of the most irrelevant shit that you could possibly ask for. They are placing him in some of the most irrelevant shit that you could possibly ask for. I would be fucking jaw to the floor shocked if this man is still employed with the WWE. If he does, I could very well lose all respect for him. I'm sorry. Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce. 4th round of draft picks. We had Raw selecting the Street Profits. I would not mind seeing the Street Profits versus RK Bro. I think that would be fantastic. SmackDown selected the Viking Raiders. I think you have yourself your team to beat the Usos for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. Usos should absolutely drop those titles to the Viking Raiders. Raw selected Finn Balor. I could absolutely see Finn Balor fighting Big E for the WWE Championship. And then SmackDown selected Ricochet. Excellent move right there. Matter of fact, if you want to, you could very well build up Ricochet to fight Roman. Will he beat Roman? Absolutely fucking not. Because at the end of the day, WWE does not invest in new stars. WWE does not invest in building up new stars. They're in the business to bury new stars. And that was that. That was actually the best round of the draft. We had Rhea Ripley and Nikki Trash versus Natalya and Tamina. Champs retain with an electric chair assisted splash. Who gives a shit? I don't. Round 5 of the draft. We had Raw selecting Karrion Kross. SmackDown selects Humberto and Angel Garza. Humberto and Angel Garza right there. Humberto and Angel Garza versus the Viking Raiders. That is a tag team title match waiting to happen right there. Raw selected Alexa Bliss. SmackDown selected Cesaro. That was pretty much that. Goldberg. Oldberg. He came out to speak. He goes, Bobby Lashley has the audacity to claim that what he did to my son was a misunderstanding. It was intentional. Now I'm inviting Bobby Lashley to come to the ring so I can intentionally break his neck. Lashley then came out and he goes, what happened to your son was a misunderstanding. Some of us aren't still dressing like it's 1998. You've been perpetrating this myth that I hurt your son on purpose, but I think that you owe me an apology. I will give you your match at Crown Jewel under one condition, that it's no holds barred. Goldberg goes, thank you, Bobby. No holds barred gives me a license to kill. And I apologize to your kids for leaving your body gasping for air. You're next and you're dead. Lashley then continued to speak to Goldberg. All of a sudden, the Hurt Business attacked, but Goldberg fought them off and speared Benjamin, and then he dropped Cedric. I actually it's unbelievable. Some fucking people are just so fucking stupid. It is not even funny. Some people were trying to brush this off as if, oh, it's okay that they squashed and they had Goldberg just absolutely run through the Hurt Business. How is anyone supposed to fucking take them seriously? They got drafted to Raw. They're a tag team now on Raw. Why are we not taking them seriously? It is honestly fucking stupid. It really is. I don't understand why. I really don't understand why we are just putting people out there like Benjamin and Cedric, who are two of the most underappreciated wrestlers on the planet right now, and we're just throwing them out there, having them get squashed by a fucking 53-year-old Goldberg. Speaking of which, the Hurt Business actually fought the New Day, and the New Day won in about 3 minutes. Buried is the Hurt Business. And then the Street Profits came out to hype up their return to Raw, and that was pretty much that. RK Bro came out, and he asked if Omos was AJ's Colossus or just a big bitch. Styles and Omos came out. Styles then did his typical trash talking, all this other bullshit. Omos was about to answer Randy Orton's challenge, and then we get a big brawl, and Orton ended up RKOing Styles, and that was it. 6th round of the draft, Raw selected Carmella, who gives a shit. SmackDown selected Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland. Really? Ridge Holland. Ridge Holland got drafted to SmackDown, yet he's done absolutely nothing. He's done jack shit in NXT. The guy has been nothing more than a great value Brock Lesnar. He's been a great value Brock Lesnar, and he's nowhere near close to how Brock Lesnar was back during Brock Lesnar's first year with the company. Ridge Holland is fucking boring. I'm sorry. Raw then selected fucking Gable Steveson, who's still in college. Gable Steveson, who is not even a fucking active performer yet. He hasn't thrown one fucking punch, and he got drafted over Shotzi Blackheart and Tegan Knox and Robert Roode. He got drafted over Sami Zayn. Are you fucking serious? Gable fucking Steveson. I'm sorry. You are not going to have another Kurt Angle. There will never be another Kurt Angle. And then SmackDown selected Sami Zayn. That was that. Charlotte Flair took on Bianca Belair in the main event. I didn't give a shit. I did not give a shit. Bianca hit the KOD. Becky then caused a DQ. We had a manhandle slam to Bianca, and then Sasha Banks came out to attack Becky and Bianca. And that was the way that the Monday Night Raw Night 2 Draft Edition went off the air. Disappointing. I did not give a shit, and it was a complete waste of time. WWE is never going to spark up any interest with this draft. They're not. I'm sorry. The draft is now unnecessary. There's no reason for the fucking draft, because back then, you actually had a stacked fucking roster with a lot of individuals that weren't getting an opportunity. And then all of a sudden, you decided to do a draft. You split the rosters in two. Shit actually worked out pretty well for SmackDown, at least for the first 8 months. And then you killed SmackDown, and you made SmackDown and Raw no different from each other. We still got the same fucking matches over and over and over again. We got the same bullshit with the booking and burying new stars and pushing people that can't fucking wrestle, pushing people just based off of their looks. I mean, what more do I need to say to let everyone know that it's time to merge the rosters again? Your rosters on Raw and SmackDown are fucking depleted. They are fucking depleted, and it's not going to work out anymore. You've released 60% of your roster from the original draft. Merge the rosters, 2 world titles, 2 mid-card titles, 1 tag team, 1 women's title. Burn the women's tag team titles. Burn the 24/7 title. Operate like that and let it be. It's fucking ridiculous. That was Monday Night Raw. That was Monday Night Raw for you. Let me check the chat for a minute. Danielle's still here. Thank you very much, Danielle. She is awesome. Rob Wells Jr. actually know what the fuck is up. Blazed Radio, he knows. Thank you very much, everyone, for sticking by. You guys are fantastic. I would not be who I am without you, and I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. You guys are absolutely amazing. I could not be doing what I'm doing without the support of each and every single one of you. We got a lot more. We got a lot more to go over, including the Dynamite Anniversary Show. The Dynamite Anniversary Show was an excellent fucking show. The Dynamite Anniversary Show was an excellent show. Lots of great wrestling, lots of great moments, and we're going to go over that right now. Blaze Radio says he's got to go back to work. Don't work too hard, Mr. Blazed Radio. I greatly appreciate you stopping by. Let's talk about the anniversary show for Dynamite, which was excellent. Lots of great shit that is going down with AEW as we speak. And we are going to dissect the anniversary show, which started off with an 8-man tag. It was the Elite. That was Adam Cole, Kenny Omega, and the Young Bucks versus Bryan Danielson, Christian Cage, and Jurassic Express. And this was a great match. Awesome match, minus one little powerbomb botch. We're going to talk about that. We had a very technical start to the match. Everyone was getting a taste of the match. Baby faces all gained up on Nick Jackson. All of a sudden, the Bucks hit the Indie Taker on Christian Cage on the floor. And he was taken out, but I think that was just for storyline issue. That was a storyline issue. I have a feeling Christian Cage will be back on Dynamite. He'll be facing probably one of the Bucks. And then he'll probably be facing Adam Cole. I think he's going to face Matt Jackson. And then he's going to beat Matt Jackson. We could very well see Christian Cage taking on Adam Cole at Full Gear, which would be fucking fantastic. That would be an excellent match. A dream match that I never thought that I needed. Christian Cage and Adam Cole sounds like a great fucking match. So, Doc Samson tried to check on Christian Cage, but the Bucks super kicked Jungle Boy and Marco Stunt. They then isolated Jungle Boy. We had a tag to Bryan Danielson. Kenny came in. They traded strikes back and forth. Bryan with the yes kicks, a big Hurricane Rana, and a flying headbutt for a 2. Everyone started getting their big movesets in. Bryan hit the cattle mutilation, but Nick Jackson broke it up with a diving swanton bomb. Luchasaurus came in and chokeslammed Adam Cole onto Omega. He tail whip kicked the Bucks. He had a moonsault onto Cole and Omega on the floor. Jungle Boy came in and took out Nick. Tope Suicida by Bryan. Tope Con Hero by Omega onto Bryan. Adam Cole did his Adam Cole Baby shtick, only to turn around into a chokeslam and a moonsault by Luchasaurus for a 2. Cole with a low blow behind the ref's back. They botched the powerbomb, but Omega clearly didn't give a shit. He was just playing up to what he was doing. Then all of a sudden, we get a triple super kick and a BTE trigger, 4-way BTE trigger, and they pin Jungle Boy to win. Awesome match, minus the botch, and I can absolutely see Adam Cole versus Christian Cage at Full Gear. And that would be an excellent, excellent, excellent match. CM Punk. CM Punk came out. He was wearing his new black t-shirt. I'm going to have to snag me a CM Punk shirt. Got to snag me one. He did his usual crowd dive, and he took the mic and he says, "I'm not tired of this yet, are you? I'm going to keep this love fest going." So he said he lived up the road in Philly for 3.5 years. He ate, he slept, and he breathed pro wrestling. I'm proud to be back in this community. I wanted to give you all something. I want to give back to you. I will either give you cheesecake, Philly cheesecake, or is it Philly cheesesteak? It was cheesesteak. I'll either give you Philly cheesesteaks or I'll wrestle. The crowd chanted wrestle. And Punk said, you can buy yourselves a Philly cheesesteak because I'm going to wrestle. Daniel Garcia tried to take everything away from me when he attacked me in Chicago. If you got any balls, I'll see you Friday on Rampage. Let's go. I like it. And the match on Rampage was excellent. And we'll talk about that when we get to the Rampage review. Arn Anderson, or Armed Anderson, he was burning something in front of Cody's house. Cody came out and Arn started talking down to Cody. Cody was wearing his custom-made suit. Cody was then trashed by Arn saying, you should paint a star on your face. A little throwback to Stardust. Cody then took off his tie and then gave Arn Anderson his tie, and Cody goes, you don't need to throw that away. Arn then slapped Cody right across the fucking face, and he said, you threw us away, damn it. Cody then threw the tie into the fire. I'm liking this storyline. I'm really, really, really liking this storyline, and you know what? I have a feeling that we could very well see Arn Anderson, like I said last week, Arn's going to be the catalyst. Arn is going to be the catalyst for a Cody Rhodes heel turn. And he is going to push Cody so far that Cody's just going to fucking snap and beat the shit out of Arn Anderson. And I cannot wait for it. That's going to be great. Bobby Fish took on Sammy Guevara, the Spanish God. This was for the TNT Championship, and this was a very, very, very good match. Bobby Fish, he looked great, and I'm very, very happy to see that he got signed. I'm telling you right now, Kyle O'Reilly, he is as good as gone, and if Kyle O'Reilly's gone, Kyle O'Reilly comes over, we reform the Undisputed Era with O'Reilly, Fish, and Cole. I am telling you right now, the six-man tag with the Undisputed Era and the Elite, Omega and the Bucks, it is going to be something to fucking behold. It's going to be something to fucking behold. I cannot wait for this. So Bobby Fish, he looked very good here. I'm very, very happy to hear that he's all elite. Fish kicked Sammy off the top rope. Fish with some Muay Thai knee strikes and a tope atomico for a 1 count. Coming back from commercial, Fish caught a back elbow. But Fish then with a roundhouse kick and a backdrop driver for a 2 on Sammy. Sammy with a standing Spanish fly. Sammy went up to the top, but Fish cut him off. And he delivered an avalanche Falcon Arrow, which looked great on Sammy Guevara. Avalanche Falcon Arrow. That got a 2 count. Fish then hit an exploder into the corner. He went for the buzzsaw kick. Sammy reversed it into a go-to hospital. And Sammy Guevara ended up retaining the TNT Championship in a very good match. Sammy Guevara, I'm loving how the TNT title is booked. It is legitimately booked like a secondary world championship. It's almost like the classic Intercontinental Championship. I love the TNT Championship. And it has just as much prestige as the AEW World Championship. They are doing an excellent job with the TNT Championship. Excellent. All of a sudden, we saw the American Top Team and Men of the Year come out. They attacked Guevara. Fuego del Sol came out. He was swarmed immediately. And then Jericho and Hager came out. And they ran off Dan Lambert. And Dan Lambert told them to cut the music. The crowd started singing Judas anyway, which was fantastic. And I loved it. Dan Lambert talked about how Miami is their town. And next week on Rampage, we got a huge 6-man tag team match confirmed. It is AEW in Rampage in Miami. Junior Dos Santos and Men of the Year versus the Inner Circle. Jericho then took the mic and he said, I didn't hear a damn thing you said. He says, we are going to beat the living shit out of you and your dipshit team. I think that it's going to be a very good match. I'm not really all too keen on Jericho and the Men of the Year feuding, but I have a feeling it'll be a very good match, and I can absolutely see Men of the Year possibly being built up to face off against the Lucha Bros. I could see him being built up to face off against the Lucha Bros, and I could see the Lucha Bros defeating Men of the Year, but Men of the Year are going to be solid heel challengers for Penta and Rey Fenix. Tony Schiavone, he announced that AEW Dynamite will be moving to TBS on January 5th, 2022, and we will have a new championship. It will be the TBS Championship, and it will be in the AEW Women's Division. And it's pretty much the TNT Championship, but with a blue banner and a TBS logo. Now, the TBS Championship looks beautiful. It looks beautiful. Now, I would have waited on this, and I would have much rather have seen the Trios Championships, but I'll tell you something right now. I love how AEW is really giving more opportunities to the women's division, and this is a great thing. I wasn't too keen on a women's tag team championship, simply because of the fact that we've seen how terrible it works out. Even the Impact Knockouts tag team titles, even they're worthless. Women's tag team titles should not be a thing. But I'm a bit more open. I wasn't too keen on it at first, but I'm a bit more open to a secondary women's championship simply because of the fact that if this is like the TNT championship, we could very well see the Forbidden Door start opening for the women, and we could see Jordynne Grace, Deonna Purrazzo, Mickie James, Allison Kay, Camille, some women from NWA come on in and fight for the TBS Championship. We could very well see Rosemary from Impact. We could very well see someone like a Havoc. There's a lot of people that you could bring over from New Japan or Impact or MLW or NWA. A lot of great women that you can bring over from there to fight whoever the TBS champion is. And I'm going to call it right now. I can absolutely see Ruby Soho getting it. I absolutely see Ruby Soho getting it. Ruby Soho is the woman to win the TBS championship. Jade Cargill, listen, she's adequate. She's adequate, but she's not there yet. Cargill is not ready for the TBS championship, at least not yet. I have a feeling that we are going to see Ruby Soho or Ty Conti, one of those two. Thunder Rosa, I don't see her winning the TBS championship. Thunder Rosa is taking that title off of Britt Baker, and it's not happening yet. We will see none other than Ruby Soho take that title from whoever the woman across the ring is when we get that tournament finals. And it was confirmed by Aubrey Edwards that the finals will take place on January 5th when Dynamite moves to TBS. I like that. Jamie Hayter too. Jamie Hayter too. Darby Allin took on Nick Comoroto. This went about 5 minutes. Darby Allin won with the coffin drop. He was supposed to face MJF next week, but that match actually got canceled because Darby Allin actually got attacked later on in the night. So Darby beat Nick Comoroto. QT came in with a diamond cutter to Sting. Sting got right back up and then gave QT a Scorpion death drop. The Factory is nothing more than a jobber faction. I don't give a shit about the Factory. Who gives a shit about the Factory? Certainly not me. But at the end of the day, Darby Allin and MJF, it looks like it got moved and it got canceled for next week on Saturday. And it looks like we could very well be seeing that match take place at Full Gear, which is the right decision. That is absolutely the right decision. And I would love to see Darby Allin and MJF get a lot of time at Full Gear. That's going to be a great match. Dante Martin was interviewed, and he says, I've been proving I'm a problem with everyone in that locker room, and I'm here to fight anyone that they can bring to me. The lights then go out. Lights then go out. Lights come back on, and all of a sudden, Malachi Black is standing there in the ring with his fucking huge-ass skull mask. He gave a fucking black mist to the face, and then a Sin Eater to Dante Martin. And then he took the microphone and he goes, "The House of Black accepts." That's going to be a great fucking match next week. Malachi Black and Dante Martin, sign me the fuck up. That's going to be a great fucking match. Ricky Starks was in the ring, and he goes, "This is the original FTW championship that was built in South Philadelphia, and I have the same mindset as Taz. Brian Cage didn't show up to work." All of a sudden, Brian Cage then came out, and he unloaded on Starks. Starks ran off, and that was it. Nothing special. Nothing special at all. I don't give a shit. It is a waste of time. So that was pretty much that. We got a match on Rampage. It is CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia on Rampage. We had Sky Blue and Jade Cargill on Rampage. We also got the Acclaimed taking on the Lucha Bros for the AEW World Tag Team titles, and then Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage in an FTW title Philadelphia street fight. That's all taking place, or that took place last night on Rampage. Hikaru Shida took on Serena Deeb. And this was an excellent fucking match right here. And I absolutely loved the way that Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida worked together. The chemistry that they had is a rarity. And I think that if these two women were to have a long, drawn-out feud, this could very well be their version of a quote-unquote fight forever type feud, if they want to go that. If they want to go that route, because these two, they worked very well together here. So Shida kept the aggression on Deeb with a running knee lift. She brought out a chair, set it up, but Serena Deeb put it away. Deeb then with a hangman's neckbreaker on the ropes. Shida then came in with a front face lock, airplane spin into a DDT. That looked great. Shida with a missile drop kick for a 2. Deeb came in with an octopus stretch. Deeb with a ghetto clutch pin. That only got a 2. Shida with a knee strike, and Deeb fell out of the ring. Hikaru Shida with a big diving crossbody onto the floor. Deeb then with a dragon screw on the ropes. Swinging neck breaker on Shida for a 2. Shida then with a roundhouse kick and a reverse Falcon Arrow. That got a 2 count. Shida then with a standard Falcon Arrow. She done the deal, but Serena Deeb still kicked out. Deeb then ended up tapping out Shida with the Serenity Lock. So Shida is not getting her 50th win at the hands of Serena Deeb. She then cracked the trophy right onto Hikaru Shida's head and stood tall. And that was great. That was awesome. So this was an excellent match, and I would absolutely love to see these women go again, because, man, if this was the result of these two women fighting for 11 minutes, I'd love to see them go 15 minutes, 16 minutes, 17 minutes. Excellent match right here, and I'm glad. You know what's funny? These two women got 11 minutes on a 2-hour show, and this is the same show that had a ladder match, a massive 8-man tag team match, and a TNT title match, but yet the women on SmackDown had 2 matches, and they barely got 4 minutes. It's pathetic. It really is pathetic. We got the Casino ladder match. Casino ladder match, where the winner would receive an AEW World Title opportunity. So Orange Cassidy and Pac kicked off the match. The timer ran out after 2 minutes, and Andrade El Idolo was the third participant. Andrade then brought in a big ladder. Pac went right after him. Andrade then springboarded onto a ladder that Pac already set up in the ring, and Andrade delivered a sunset flip powerbomb off the ladder to Pac. Looked awesome. He then set up a ladder. He went for the double knees, but Cassidy stopped him. Matt Hardy then was the fourth participant. He came in with a side effect to Orange Cassidy. We go to commercial. The fifth participant was Lance Archer. He then choke slammed Orange Cassidy onto the apron. He targeted Pac. He pounced him into the air. Looked brutal. Lance Archer set up a ladder bridge. He put Cassidy on it and then delivered a splash while Cassidy was on the ladder bridge. All of a sudden, Jon Moxley was the sixth participant. Archer went after him into the crowd because they were at odds with each other. I'm sorry, that was a stupid fucking move. Big time stupid fucking move there. So they brawled into the ringside area. Archer then got hit with an Orange Cassidy punch. Cassidy tried to climb the ladder while Archer was caught in it. Moxley took over. And then all of a sudden, the timer ran out. And the Joker came out. And the Joker was none other than Hangman Adam Page. I knew it. I called it. I knew it was going to happen. Adam Page came out. He started taking out everybody. He went after Pac. And he set up a table. Andrade stopped Pac. Andrade, while Pac was going to go for a huge black arrow off the ladder through a table, Andrade didn't stop them, but Andrade was shoved off the top through a ladder. Andrade was gone for the rest of the match. Pac then got hit with an avalanche fucking deadeye off the top of the ladder through a table. Looked fucking brutal. Absolutely fucking ridiculous. Moxley then came in with a paradigm shift. Cassidy and Moxley were on the top. Hardy came in, shoved them off. Cassidy was put on a table on the outside. Matt Hardy with a diving leg drop off the ladder through a table. Archer then took out Moxley. We had a buckshot lariat by Page. Moxley and Page were on the top. They fought back and forth before Moxley dropped off after he was punched off by Adam Hangman Page. And Page unhooked the chip. And Adam Hangman Page is going to be facing off against Omega at Full Gear. And Adam Page is going to be your new world champion. Adam Page is going to be your new world champion. Excellent. Excellent, excellent match. Excellent show. And AEW, man, they're doing some great shit. They're doing some really, really, really great shit. And I am very, very excited for Full Gear. And now we got the World Championship title eliminator match returning next week. It's going to be good. It's going to be good, people. It's going to be good. We had Ginny, and Amelia McKenzie. They kicked off NXT UK. We'll talk about NXT UK in just a little bit. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining me. We have 3 more shows to go over, and then we're going to get out of here, and then we can all enjoy our Saturday afternoons and evenings. We got 13 likes so far. 13 likes so far. Let's see if we can get to at least 20 people. Share out the stream. Get some people in here. We want to get to 20 likes. It is vital. It is vital, people. Extremely vital. I want to get to at least 20 for the Lightning Flash update. I realize I haven't been promoting it. And I realize I've been slacking a little bit. I see David Maniscalco just shared out the stream. Thank you very much. I've been slacking a little bit, but I'm telling you, even if I've been slacking a little bit, even if I've been slacking with my my job now, since I got a job, even though I've been slacking a little bit, I'm telling you, people, it is vital that you get as many people in here as possible so that way I can reach the goal. We can reach the goal because we are the DJ Storms Posse, and we are the greatest group of wrestling fans in the community, hands fucking down. Hands down. We're going to talk about NXT UK. Thank you very much, Danielle, for saying I have a pretty smile. I mean, tell me something Tell me something I don't know. Anyway, let us talk about NXT UK. So we had Ginny and Amelia McKenzie starting off the show. Ginny and Amelia McKenzie started off the show, and they delivered a fairly solid match. This show wasn't bad. The show wasn't bad overall. And listen, I'm very, very happy that we're actually getting fans back for NXT UK next week. Very, very happy we're getting fans back for NXT UK next week in the BT Sports Studio. So Amelia McKenzie came in with a drop kick and a swinging neck breaker for a 2. Ginny came back with an octopus stretch. She transitioned into a single leg crab. Amelia fought back with a jumping cutter, back suplex for a 2. Mako then came out to take Connors out. McKenzie with a German suplex for a 2. McKenzie then connected with a modified Angel's Wings in tribute to Christopher Daniels, the fallen angel. But Ginny still kicked out. Ginny then with a ripcord axe kick, and she ended up winning. Solid match right here for Ginny and Amelia McKenzie. Afterwards, Ginny took the mic, and she said, "Nobody's going to stand in the way of me and my destiny. What do you say? The final boss versus the fashionista for the NXT UK Women's Championship." And Mako then held up the title high, and that was it. So it looks like we are getting that match sooner rather than later. And we will be getting Mako and Ginny. I do not see Mako losing that championship. Matter of fact, Mako's dropping that title to Blair Davenport. We had Mark Andrews versus Sam Gradwell. They delivered a fairly decent match right here. It's always a pleasure to see Mark Andrews wrestle. Sam Gradwell, he's actually not too bad himself. He's no slouch. Sam Gradwell tried to wear down Mark Andrews. Andrews then came back with a DDT. He hit a wheelbarrow bulldog and a big stomp to the back for a 2. Gradwell then with a forearm for a 2. Andrews then with a stun dog millionaire. Gradwell then rolled out of the ring. Andrews with a moonsault to the floor onto Gradwell. Gradwell was then able to catch Andrews on his shoulders and delivered a Samoan driver for the 1, 2, 3. So it seems like Sam Gradwell is finally getting some wins behind him. See where he goes. He's not a bad wrestler. He's just been losing a hell of a lot more than he's been winning. Next week, we got A-Kid versus Ilya Dragunov for the NXT UK Women's NXT UK Championship, not Women's Championship. But I can't wait to see that match. That's going to be a great fucking match right there. Wolfgang versus Noam Dar. This was the NXT UK Heritage Cup #1 Contenders Tournament Finals. And this was a very good match for what it was. And I was actually shocked that they gave the win to Noam Dar, but it looks like Noam Dar could very well be the next NXT UK Heritage Cup champion. We'll see what happens there. Noam Dar and Wolfgang, very, very technical to start off the first round. Wolfgang's shoulder was specifically the target for this match in its entirety, not just the first round. So no falls in the first round, and then in the second round, Jordan Devlin came out to attack Joe Coffey. That distracted Wolfgang, and then we went on with the match. Dar then rolled up Wolfgang with the tights for the first fall. Wolfgang looked like an idiot. Third round started, and Wolfgang with an immediate spear to start it, and he ends it like that, and the score was tied up. Wolfgang then accidentally drove himself shoulder first into the barricade as the fourth round ended. Dar tried to keep the aggression on Wolfgang. Wolfgang's shoulder kept bothering him. Dar then locked in the knee bar. Wolfgang got out of it. Wolfgang hit the spear, but he was just 1 second short as the round ended. Wolfgang then hit a lariat in the sixth round. Dar then kicked out. Dar then with a roundhouse kick. Wolfgang kicked out and then stared at Dar. Wolfgang got hit with not one, but 2 Nova Rollers, and Noam Dar ends up winning the championship #1 contenders opportunity, and he will be facing Tyler Bate, and he could very well be taking that championship off of him. See what happens. But NXT UK was not a bad show at all. Not a bad show at all. Fairly solid. And we will see how NXT UK favors now with fans in attendance. And I'm very, very happy that we are getting fans back in attendance in the BT Sports Studios. Should be good. Thank you again, everyone. Thank you again, everyone. You guys have been awesome. You guys have been great. You guys have been on fire all day long. And I could not thank you guys enough. Thank you, Didi. Thank you, Rob Wells Jr. and David Maniscalco and Earl Cole. Thank you, everybody. We got 2 more shows to go over, and then we are going to get on out of here. And trust me, I got some shit to say. A lot of shit to say about SmackDown. SmackDown, listen, it wasn't even like it was a terrible wrestling show. We did get some decent King of the Ring matches, and we did get a excellent segment with Roman Reigns and Paul Heyman. We did get a really, 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 really good ending segment with Edge and Seth Rollins. We got some awesome stuff. But the whole Queen's Crown tournament and everything that went into it, or the very little that went into it, just created such a nasty vibe around the entire show. Seriously. Now, let's talk about the beginning of the show first. So SmackDown kicked off with a contract signing. So this contract signing, Bianca was in the ring. Sasha Banks was standing on the announce table. Becky Lynch was sitting on a fucking table on the ramp with her feet up on the table. So Becky called Sasha a disco ball looking fool, and she said she should be thanking her. Sasha said all these people missed her. No lies there. Bianca said, Becky got lucky by capitalizing on my hard work to get an opportunity. So then Bianca dared Becky to get into the ring. Becky flipped her table. Sasha attacked Bianca from behind, and we get a big brawl. Bianca then picked up both women. She then knocked Sasha Banks onto the table, and then she hit a KOD onto Becky, onto Sasha through the table. Holy shit. I'm telling you, they try their fucking damnedest. And I mean their fucking damnedest to make people not want to go out of their way to watch their show. Why do we need this contract signing with all 3 women standing in separate areas? Why do we need this contract signing at all? Bianca looks like an idiot. Becky's been looking like an idiot for God knows how long now. Sasha does not look any fucking better. And the promos, these overly scripted promos, I'm telling you right now, these overly scripted promos need to fucking die. And die quick. Now, the KOD through the table looked great. That looked great, I will say. But this promo, I'm telling you right now, Sasha, Becky, and Bianca, that is a WrestleMania-type match. And they are doing their damnedest to make people not care about it at all. WWE, I say it all the time, they have the best roster that they've ever assembled, and you would not know that based off of how poorly their superstars are booked. And it's downright fucking pathetic and sad to see. It really is. This promo was terrible. KOD through the table looked great. We got a King of the Ring first round matchup. It was Rey Mysterio and Sami Zayn. First round. And this was a very good match to kick off the King of the Ring tournament. I just fucking hate the fact, you see, this is how shitty WWE really is. I don't understand why we are getting the Crown Jewel pay-per-view as the route, the end route for this Queen's Crown tournament and the King of the Ring. I don't understand. Why are we rushing it all the way into Crown Jewel? Why aren't we waiting until after Crown Jewel and doing shit like this, going into the Survivor Series, since it's clearly Raw versus SmackDown? I don't get it. I really don't get it. This should have been a Raw versus SmackDown thing going into Survivor Series, because it's a Monday Night Raw bracket and a SmackDown bracket. That's number one. And I'll get into more after I talk about the match. So, fast-paced action to start. Rey Mysterio with a beautiful Hurricane Rana to Sami Zayn on the floor. Rey Mysterio was worn down by Zayn. Dominic came out to watch. Rey with a sunset flip powerbomb for a 2. Both men were on the top. Rey with a Hurricane Rana from the middle rope for a 2. Rey then reversed the Blue Thunder Bomb. Zayn dodged the 619 and connected with the Blue Thunder Bomb for a close 2 count. Zayn then took the buckle pad off. Dominic tried to put the pad on. Rey Mysterio got distracted. Sami Zayn capitalized on the distraction and shoved Rey into Dominic, sending Dominic off the apron, and he rolled up Rey, and Sami Zayn advances to the finals, or the semifinals rather, of the King of the Ring tournament. Like I said, the tournament should have been going into Survivor Series. We do not need the Crown Jewel pay-per-view to be the end result of the tournament, specifically because of the fact that some people don't even want to go to Saudi Arabia, so you would have a little bit more leeway to actually have some fun with the tournament and actually make it a little bit more unpredictable. Sami Zayn ain't going to the fucking finals. It's going to be Finn Balor and someone on the Monday Night Raw side. I hope Ricochet. So it's going to be Ricochet, hopefully, and Finn Balor on the Crown Jewel show, hopefully. Why the fuck are we rushing through this tournament all the way into Crown Jewel when you realistically should have been building this going into Survivor Series since it's Raw versus SmackDown? That's number one. Number two, why are both members of the New Day in Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods and Jinder Mahal in the tournament? You're telling me you bypassed a Karrion Kross, a Keith Lee, a Cedric Alexander, a Shelton Benjamin, a Jeff Hardy, all for those 3 men? Angel Garza? New Day should not be in this tournament. Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston should not be in this tournament. Both of those men are 2 of the most decorated men in WWE right now. They're both 11-time tag team champions. They're both bona fide Hall of Famers when they go in as members of the New Day. Hell, Kofi Kingston is a Hall of Famer all by himself. Look at the career that he's accumulated. And Jinder Mahal, fucking forget about Jinder Mahal. Jinder Mahal can't even throw a fucking punch correctly. Yet he's in the fucking King of the Ring tournament. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston are made men. They should not be in this tournament. Jinder Mahal is a fucking cancer. He should not be in this tournament. 8 men. If you were going to include those men, you should have made it a 16-man tournament. But no, you had to rush through it. Because you got to get these finals on Crown Jewel, right? Got to get these finals on Crown Jewel. Unbelievable. And then finally, the biggest thing when it comes to these tournaments. At this rate, I don't even give a shit with the Queen's Crown tournament because now it's absolutely fucking worthless. But regardless of that, I've said it once and I'll say it again. I don't give a shit how good the wrestling in these tournaments are. I don't. I don't give a shit how good the wrestling in these tournaments are. If you are going to give the winners royalty gimmicks, everything that every single one of the participants in these 2 tournaments do will ultimately go down as worthless. Worthless. I'm sick and fucking tired of watching these individuals parade around with a fucking scepter, a robe, a crown, talking about how they're the king of the ring or the king of WWE, or now we're going to get a fucking queen with a robe, a scepter, saying that they're the fucking queen. I am sick and fucking tired of it. I am sick and fucking tired of all of this bullshit. I really am. I'm sick and tired of these royalty gimmicks. It's outdated. It should not be a thing. Give the winners title shots or don't bother doing the tournament. I'm going to tell you this right now. As far as Queen's Crown tournament goes and King of the Ring goes, Queen's Crown tournament, I don't want to see another Queen's Crown tournament ever again after what just happened. And we're going to get into it in just a minute. But if they give the King of the Ring winner, a fucking king gimmick, I do not want to see another King of the Ring ever again. If WWE is not going to treat it like something meaningful, if WWE is not going to treat it like something important, then why should we? Give the winners title shots or don't do the fucking tournament. I'm probably just talking out of my ass here, and WWE is just going to give them fucking royalty gimmicks. Why? Because that's what WWE does. We had in defense of Seth Rollins. Rollins was interviewed by Braxton. Rollins talked about beating Edge. Rollins said that he was called a monster. Rollins said that he told Edge he was going to his house, so he didn't cross any lines. He says, I still haven't gotten an answer to my challenge. Why am I talking to you? You don't have any power, so excuse me while I talk to the people in power. And he leaves. And that was just a sign of things to come later on in the night. Zelina Vega. Zelina Vega versus Toni Storm. Queen's Crown Tournament, first round matchup. This was fucking terrible. Terrible. Zelina Vega beat Toni Storm in 3 minutes with a code red. Sloppy looking code red. And Zelina Vega pins Toni Storm 1, 2, 3. I don't even know what people want me to say. I don't want to fucking complain. Nobody wants to complain. Nobody wants to hear me sit here and rant and rave and bitch and moan and yell and scream like a raging fucking lunatic who is mentally insane. No normal person wants to rant and rave and yell and scream. No, nobody. No normal person wants to do that. But when you have Toni Storm, who could easily be the face of this fucking women's division, Toni Storm, who could easily be the next Becky Lynch before WWE ruined her, Toni Storm, who could easily be the women's champion, who could easily be the face of the division and the top women for years to fucking come, losing in 3 minutes to a woman who has won all but 2 matches in the last 2 years across 2 separate runs with this company. What the fuck do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Zelina Vega has accumulated 2 wins. I will repeat that. 2 wins across 2 years. Across 2 separate tenures with this company. 2 wins across 2 separate tenures in 2 years with this company. Yet here she is beating Toni fucking Storm, who held the NXT UK Women's Championship for 8 months. And now here she is losing to Zelina Vega in 3 minutes. Who I believe 4 months ago, Vince McMahon was reportedly very high on Toni Storm. Yeah, sure, just like he was high on Andrade, just like he was high on fucking Angel Garza, just like he was high on those guys and every other individual. Keith Lee, what about Keith Lee? Now he's a fucking wildcat. I'm waiting for Zach Evans. Where the fuck is Vanessa Hudgens? I'm waiting. Just like he was high on all of those individuals. Toni Storm loses in 3 minutes. Zelina Vega, who can barely fucking do a punch correctly. Her offense is just as weak as the fucking Miz. So why the fuck am I supposed to care? And on top of that, you give her 3 minutes against Zelina Vega to lose? Lose for what? Lose for what? If you did not intend on taking Toni Storm all the way to the finals, or at least to the semifinals, to lose to someone like a Liv Morgan in a competitive match, why the fuck is she even in this tournament? Why is Zelina Vega in this tournament? Why the fuck is Carmella in this tournament? Carmella, she's not a bad wrestler, but this new gimmick is fucking AIDS. Why is Dana Brooke in this tournament? Why is fucking Natalya in this tournament? Where the fuck is Xia Li? Where is Dakota Kai? Where is Shotzi Blackheart? Where is Tegan Nox? Why is it Sonya Deville and Naomi in this tournament? Sonya Deville and Naomi, they've had probably the best storyline in the women's division right now. And Sonya isn't even an active fucking performer, at least not for another fucking week. Sonya Deville hasn't wrestled a match in over a fucking year, and she's in the best storyline in the women's division with Naomi. Why aren't they in the tournament? Are you telling me that you would not want to see Sonya Deville and Naomi go at it in the finals, and then you could tell a story of Naomi losing to Sonya and then winning the Rumble and then winning the title from Sonya after Sonya wins the title and she beats Sonya for the title at WrestleMania? Again, why is it that I can come up with a better idea in less than 25 seconds? I can come up with an idea faster than Becky beat Bianca at SummerSlam, yet all the people in the back wearing these suits and ties with their pens and their papers, they can't come up with a decent fucking idea to save their lives. I don't want to hear a fucking peep out of anyone. I have some people trying to defend Bianca Belair. She's not buried. Oh, yeah, she's not buried. Oh, she's going to be just fine. She's going to be just fine. She's going to be just fine because she's in a championship match with Becky Lynch at Crown Jewel. Oh, yeah, she's in a championship match with Becky Lynch at Crown Jewel. And she's fighting Sasha Banks, and she's tag teaming with Sasha Banks, and she's in a main event match on Monday Night Raw with Charlotte. Really? Really? So you're telling me that people are going to take Bianca seriously after she lost in 26 seconds to Becky, after she outlasted 29 of the women to win the Rumble. She main evented WrestleMania and beat Sasha Banks, and then she stepped into Hell in a Cell, which is supposed to be a devastating structure, and she won her first Hell in a Cell match, yet we are supposed to believe that 30 seconds against Becky Lynch and a weak-ass fucking rock bottom can beat Bianca Belair? Bianca is fucking buried. End of fucking conversation, you fucking retards. And Toni Storm, she is no better. Toni Storm is no fucking better. When you lose to a woman in 3 minutes, a woman who has won all but 2 matches in the last 2 years across 2 separate tenures with the company, you by default are buried. Toni Storm is buried. She is never going to recover from this. She is never going to be looked at the same if you lost to fucking Zelina fucking Vega, Spanish version of Alexa Bliss. You are not going to be looked at in a serious manner at all. Toni Storm is buried. End of conversation. Terrible, terrible fucking booking decision. If Toni Storm was not going to be in the finals, she shouldn't have even been in the fucking tournament. Roman Reigns. He came out with the Usos and Paul Heyman to address Brock Lesnar. He said, "San Jose, acknowledge me." So my special counsel had one job to do before tonight, and that was make sure that my cousins, the Usos, were drafted to SmackDown, and that's what he did. So San Jose, acknowledge him. And he goes, "I love you, Paul, and my cousins, they love you too. You're the wise men to the bloodline, and I want you to be very wise right now. I want you to tell the truth." Crowd chanted Suplex City. And Reigns goes, this isn't Suplex City. This is the island of relevancy. And he goes, I want you to admit that you're responsible for Brock Lesnar's free agency. Heyman took the mic and he said, I'm in a terrible situation. I've been with your family for 40 years. All of a sudden, Roman Reigns grabbed Paul Heyman by the face and just moved him up. He's like, look at me. Look at me. Heyman goes, you saved me. And I know I am the wise man. I have been accused of many things, but I've never been accused of being stupid. Why in the world would I pull the trigger now before Crown Jewel? Only someone stupid would do that. The Beast can't stand the fact that he will be conquered by Roman. He was going to say Reigns, but then all of a sudden, Roman Reigns goes, I don't want you to tell me that. I want you to look into the camera and tell Brock, I'll protect you because I care. So Heyman looked into the camera and he goes, we talked about everyone that said The Undertaker couldn't be beaten, but I looked at you and I said The Undertaker had met his match, but now Brock Lesnar has met his match. And he talked about Crown Jewel, and at the end, your winner and still reigning, defending, undisputed Universal Heavyweight Champion, the Tribal Chief, Roman Reigns. And that's not just a prediction, Brock Lesnar. That's a spoiler. And you can believe that. Heyman then gifted Roman the championship, and he kneeled down on his knees and prayed to Roman as if Roman was Jesus Christ himself. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. I was very, very skeptical and not too keen. I was not too keen at all on a match between Roman and Lesnar, but you know what? You know what? They sold me. They absolutely sold me, and they have done a damn good job at making this storyline feel important. And I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. And I honestly believe that Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, I honestly believe that they are going to deliver one hell of a fucking match. They're going to deliver one hell of a fucking match in Saudi Arabia. So after that we had Liv Morgan and Carmella. Liv Morgan and Carmella, Queen's Crown Tournament first round. And after the fiasco that happened earlier on in the night, I thought to myself, well, Liv Morgan has to win now, right? Liv Morgan has to win, and they're going to play up the Liv Morgan, Shayna Baszler underdog storyline, right? No. Did that happen? Of course not. Of course that didn't happen. Why? Because WWE buries new stars. Carmella put her fucking bedazzled luchador mask on, and she literally beat Liv Morgan in about a minute and 45 seconds. I don't understand. I really don't. And for anyone that's saying, oh, well, some women can't go to Saudi Arabia. More of the reason why I said it should have been done going into Survivor Series to play up to the Raw versus SmackDown dynamic. I don't get why, if you're not going to push Tony, why aren't you pushing Liv? What is the big fucking idea with Carmella and Zelina Vega? You know what WWE did? They solidified the Queen's Crown Tournament as a complete waste of fucking time. And they told you, without directly telling you, that there is absolutely no fucking reason to care about this match at all. There is no fucking reason to care about this match at all. There's no fucking reason to care about this tournament. And they don't give a shit about this tournament or women's wrestling. To WWE, women's wrestling is jack shit. And then you're going to have people that are going to try and trash AEW at any chance that they can get because their women's division isn't where it needs to be. If you compare it to WWE, I'm telling you right now, AEW's women's division is looking like fucking stardom compared to WWE. AEW certainly isn't the best at everything that they do. They are far from perfect, but if you're telling me that what Serena Deeb and Hikaru Shida did this past Wednesday and the fact that they're introducing a new championship into the women's division, if you're going to tell me that WWE cares about women's wrestling but AEW doesn't, you, my friend, you've got some serious mental fucking issues and you need to get your fucking heads out of your asses. And you know what? I would not even be surprised if Liv Morgan is being punished for interacting with Britt Baker. Because WWE is just that fucking petty. WWE is that fucking petty, and WWE is that fucking ridiculous when it comes to their talent. What a fucking joke. Seriously. I said it once and I'll say it again. I do not want to see another Queen's Crown tournament ever again. And if the King of the Ring winner gets a royalty gimmick, I don't want to see another fucking King of the Ring ever again. Never again. King of the Ring should be fucking retired until you give the winners world title shots and not royalty gimmicks. Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss, they came out for Happy Talk with the Street Profits. Riddick Moss told a joke. He goes, "What kind of instrument do you find in the bathroom?" And he goes, "A tube of toothpaste." Sounds like something that I would fucking say. But that's not something that I want to see on my wrestling television shows. I don't mind corny jokes, but keep that away from television. Please. Kevin Owens then came out. He attacked Moss. He went after Corbin, but Madcap Moss and Corbin swarmed him. Owens then got flung into the turnbuckle, and then he got hit with a neck breaker by Riddick Moss, and that was it. Their guests were the Profits, the Street Profits, and they never even came out. Good job. Kevin Owens is gone. Kevin Owens is gone, and it legitimately feels like he's being buried and punished on his way out. Kevin Owens is as good as gone. So, Sonya Deville and Naomi came face-to-face in the back, and Sonya Deville made a match between herself and Naomi next week. Again, I ask, why aren't they in the tournament? Why aren't they in the tournament? Sonya, Naomi, Tegan, Shotzi, Dakota Kai, Xia Li. Why aren't they in the tournament? Why do we need Dana Brooke in the tournament? Why do we need Zelina Vega in the tournament? Why do we need fucking Carmella in the tournament? They legitimately gave you a tournament full of rematches. They're giving you a fucking tournament full of rematches, and it is fucking ridiculous. I'll tell you what wasn't ridiculous, though. Cesaro versus Finn Balor. King of the Ring tournament, first round matchup. Cesaro was in control. He had a big pop-up uppercut for a 2. Coming back from commercial, Balor with some more uppercuts. Balor then hit a sling blade. Both men were down. Cesaro then came in with a massive superplex for a 2. Balor then rolled up Cesaro off of a crossface, close 2 count. He hit a big Tope Con Hero, shotgun dropkick, and a coup de grace, and Balor advances in the tournament. If you play your cards right, you could absolutely have Finn Balor win the tournament. Or if you want to, I would give the fucking thing to Ricochet and have him go up against Roman after Survivor Series. Roman needs challengers to get him to WrestleMania to fight The Rock. Roman needs challengers. And Big E needs challengers too. So if Balor wins, I can absolutely see him fighting Big E after Big E gets past Roman Reigns. After he inevitably loses to Roman, Big E can fight Balor at TLC in December. I believe that pay-per-view is on like the 19th or something like that. They could do that. Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins came out to address Edge. Seth Rollins came out to address Edge. He goes, "The time has come. I've been waiting all my life for this. Hey, Edge, come on out and answer my challenge. It don't even have to be tonight. Hell, you can pick the stipulation. We can have the match in your living room, and your wife and your daughters can cheer you on. What happened to the Ultimate Opportunist? Oh, wait. I ended him. I ended him with one stomp in Madison Square Garden. Well, Edge, I'll take that as an admission that I'm better than you in every possible way. You know, you're disappointing your fans, and most importantly, you're disappointing your family. By this time, I can't even imagine how your little girls feel knowing that their daddy's a coward. All of a sudden, Edge shows up. He showed up to the arena in looked like a Cadillac Escalade, I think. It looked like a Cadillac Escalade. I don't know. I didn't really get a good look at it. So, Edge took it to Rollins. He beat Rollins in and around the arena. And then he took the mic and he goes, "You, me, Hell in a Cell." And that was the way the show went off the air. Now, this is a good thing and this is a bad thing. It's a good thing because this feud is probably the first feud in years, I mean. I'm talking about years that actually makes sense as far as King of the Ring goes. It actually makes sense. The last feud that actually made sense that belonged inside Hell in a Cell was perhaps Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt from 2015. And then if you want to go back further than that, Undertaker, Triple H, end of an hour at WrestleMania 28. So that is 2 Hell in a Cell matches in about 10 years that have actually made sense in terms of being Hell in a Cell matches. But this match, I don't think anyone's going to complain about this match being inside Hell in a Cell at all, because this feud actually calls for it. This feud actually calls for it because these two have been at each other's throats for the last few months. So I don't mind that. I don't mind that. What I do mind is the fact that it's fucking ridiculous that they moved a fucking pay-per-view. They moved the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view from October to fucking June. They had 4 Hell in a Cell matches inside the course of 4 fucking days with Roman Reigns and Mysterio, Bianca and Bayley, Drew and Lashley, and then Xavier and Lashley. They had 4 Hell in a Cell matches inside of 4 days in June. You moved the fucking pay-per-view from October to June. Now you're doing another Hell in a Cell match here at Crown Jewel. And on top of all that, you're doing it at Crown Jewel of all fucking places. Why are you loading up Crown Jewel? Why are you putting all these big matches away for free on Crown Jewel when we all know that Crown Jewel is perhaps going to be the worst show of the year? It always is. It always is the worst show of the year. I don't understand. It's always the worst show of the year. Always. Why are we doing it? Why are we doing it? Why is it a thing? It's fucking stupid. It is absolutely fucking stupid. No one's going to watch Crown Jewel. Everyone that you want to watch Crown Jewel, people are going to be working. They're either going to be at school. It's at noon on a fucking Thursday in the middle of October. Kids are going to be at school. People are going to be working. The only people that are going to watch the show are the jobless fucking bums that defend WWE like their life depends on it. No one cares about Crown Jewel. It's going to be the worst show of the year anyway. However, I do think the match is going to be good. I will say that. That was SmackDown for you. Had some decent moments, but the Queen's Crown tournament booking, I'm telling you, that just left a sour fucking taste in my mouth. That pissed me off. It really did. That pissed me the fuck off. Anyway, that was SmackDown. We're going to talk about Rampage, and then we're going to get out of here. We are already surpassing 2.5 hours. Let's go through Rampage. Rampage, I would say, was a very good show, perhaps the second best show of the entire week. Although we did not get a perfect show, I would still say it was good. The squash match with Jade Cargill and Sky Blue, completely irrelevant and should not have happened. We should have saved that for either Dark or Dark Elevation. I will say that. But other than that, the show was very good. CM Punk versus Daniel Garcia. This was an excellent fucking match to kick off AEW Rampage. Punk and Garcia, they worked very well together here. Garcia is very, very good. So Garcia was very technical early on. Garcia tried to take over. 2.0 was able to save Daniel Garcia from the GTS. But then all of a sudden, Daniel Garcia distracted the referee, and 2.0 targeted Punk's legs. 2.0, they slammed Punk's legs into the steel post. They slammed Punk's legs into the post, and they were acting very, very sneaky behind the referee and all that. So after that, we saw Punk trying to mount the comeback. He came back with a punt knee strike to Garcia. We then had them getting into a chop off. We had a roundhouse kick by Punk for a 2. A rising leg lariat and a swinging neck breaker, rising knee in the corner. Garcia then came back with an angle slam, which looked great. That got a 2 count. Punk with the Pepsi twist for a 2. Garcia then locked in the sharpshooter. It was in deep. Punk then sent Garcia into 2.0. Once into Matt Lee and then into Jeff Parker. So then all of a sudden, Punk with a diving crossbody onto all 3 men onto the floor. Punk then back in the ring, hit a springboard clothesline, a pile driver, and then he locked in the Anaconda Vice. And what happened? Mr. Daniel Garcia, he tapped out. And CM Punk wins an excellent opening match. Punk has been looking great. Punk has not had a bad match since he came to AEW. I have been loving what they are doing. Awesome stuff. Really, really, really good stuff here. I am loving what they are doing. As long as they keep up what they're doing with Punk, I don't think anyone's going to have a problem with Punk wrestling every week. And next week on Rampage, we got Punk versus Matt Sydal. Now, that's going to be fucking good. That's going to be good. The Acclaimed versus the Lucha Bros. This is for the AEW World Tag Team titles. The Acclaimed did their normal rapping shtick. I love the Acclaimed. I really do. I love the Acclaimed. So they attacked the Lucha Bros before the match. They regained control. Lucha Bros hit sandwich super kicks to the Acclaimed. The Lucha Bros then got taken out by the Acclaimed as Bowens used the boombox behind the referee's back. Aubrey did not see Bowens use the boombox as Phoenix went for a tope. Then all of a sudden we had Caster catching Penta in midair, deadlift suplex. That got a 2 count. That was actually very, very impressive by Max Caster. The Acclaimed then isolated Penta. Penta came back with a DDT. And then Phoenix came in. He got the tag. Phoenix then with a swift kick, backwards rolling cutter on Bowens, which looked great. Bowens then with a super kick to Phoenix. We had a super kick by Penta, super kick on Castro, super kick party everywhere. Then all of a sudden, Phoenix with a double springboard cutter. All 4 men are down. Crowd is clapping. The Acclaimed then went for the mic drop, but Castro was shoved off the top. The Lucha Bros then with a drop kick right to the thighs of Bowens. And then we had a big assisted pile driver for the win. This was decent. But way too fucking rushed. This was way too rushed. This was really not necessary. And if I'm to be quite honest with you, sometimes, not all the time, they don't do this all the time. It happens once every few months, I would say. Once every few months, AEW tends to overload their shows, and they did that here. Sky Blue and Jade Cargill was a squash match on this show. Should not even been on the show. I'm sorry. Should not even been on the show. Now, listen, I understand you want to build up Jade Cargill. I understand you want to build up Jade Cargill. You want to make her into an imposing figure. But we just saw Jade Cargill wrestle on Rampage last week. Matter of fact, she got the biggest win of her career thus far over Thunder Rosa and Nyla Rose in a fucking three-way match. So why are we getting Jade Cargill again? We don't need anyone to remind us that she's undefeated. We don't need that. I'm sorry. We don't need that. So Jade Cargill beats Sky Blue. And on top of that, you could have given more time to the main event as well. Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. You could have given more time to that as well. So this should not have even happened. This should have been saved for Darker Elevation. Jade Cargill won with the Jaded 1, 2, 3. And then Thunder Rosa came out to save Sky Blue. So looks like we're getting Rosa versus Cargill. I think that should be a great match. That should be a great match. That should probably be Jade Cargill's best match in AEW to date. I'm very, very interested in seeing how that match goes. But at the end of the day, we should not have had Sky Blue versus Jade Cargill on Rampage. Should have given more time to the tag team title match. CM Punk versus Matt Sydal, that is scheduled for next week. Junior Dos Santos and Men of the Year versus the Inner Circle, that's set for next week. And Ruby Soho versus The Bunny is also set for next week. Looking like a decent episode of Rampage. And then next week on Dynamite, we got Lucha Bros taking on a masked team that Andrade El Idolo is providing. That's going to be for the AAA Tag Team Championships. We got Dante Martin versus Malachi Black. Bryan Danielson versus Bobby Fish. And the AEW World Title Eliminator is returning. The brackets are to be announced next week. I can see Bryan Danielson being in there. I can see Orange Cassidy being in there. I can see Brian Cage being in there, Lance Archer, Jon Moxley. But if I'm going to pick a winner, I say that Miro is going to win the tournament. Miro lost the TNT title to Sammy Guevara. I think Miro is going to be an excellent first opponent for Adam Hangman Page. Miro, he's done all he could with the TNT Championship. Now it's time to move on. I think Miro is going to be an excellent individual to fight Adam Page first after Page wins the World Championship from Kenny Omega. I think that's going to be awesome. So that's all going down on Dynamite next Saturday, 1 week from today. Then in the main event, we got Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage. Ricky Starks is great. Brian Cage is great. But they dragged this out. I'm sorry. They dragged this out way too long. After that match at Fyter Fest Night 1, when Ricky Starks initially won the FTW World Championship, after that, it just fell flat. They dragged it on too long. We should have had Ricky Starks moving on from Brian Cage after that. But I'm guessing that this is the end of the feud here. Ricky Starks versus Brian Cage for the FTW World Championship. It was a solid match. Solid street fight. They didn't really get all too crazy. It was a solid match. They did what they could. It wasn't terrible. But at the end of the day, they got to get away from each other. Let's get Ricky Starks into a match with CM Punk at Full Gear. Let's get Brian Cage into a match with someone like a Lance Archer or a Jon Moxley. Let's get him in that World Title Eliminator tournament. Let's see how far he goes. So, Ricky Starks, he went for a chair early before Cage cut him off. Cage then with a belly-to-belly. Cage then brought out a garbage can. Starks used a pool cue against Brian Cage. He had a swinging DDT. That got a 2 count. Coming back from commercial, Brian Cage, he hit a pump handle gourd buster onto a trash can that got a 2. All of a sudden, Hook came out. Cage took out Hook. He took out Hobbs as well. Starks hit a big spear, but Brian Cage was able to kick out. Ricky Starks was then sent headfirst into a chair as Brian Cage sidestepped a spear. He hit a big discus lariat, turning Ricky Starks inside out before Will Hobbs saved it. Hook then hit Cage with a low blow, and Ricky Starks with a big Rochambeau. And Ricky Starks retains the FTW Championship. Not a bad match at all. They're two very good wrestlers, but at the end of the day, this feud didn't really mean anything. This feud should have ended a long time ago. I'm hoping and I'm guessing that this is the end of the feud, and we're going to move Brian Cage onto something more meaningful. Hopefully he'll be in the tournament, and hopefully we get Ricky Starks versus CM Punk. I would absolutely love that. Punk and Starks for the FTW, not for the FTW World Championship, but just Punk versus Starks at Full Gear. Punk versus Starks at Full Gear should be good. And ladies and gentlemen, that wraps up this edition of the Lightning Flash Update. I would like to thank each and every single one of you for tuning into this video. I greatly appreciate each and every single one of you. Please follow me on social media. Check out all those links in the descriptions. Next Saturday, we got, I'm thinking about an LFU in the afternoon, but I might go pumpkin picking. I will keep you guys updated, though. I may or may not be doing something. We'll see what happens. I'm a little iffy on it. I might go pumpkin picking with my family. But please make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit the notifications bell. And next Sunday will be the rundown for WWE Crown Jewel 2021 with me and Mr. Mikey Williams, a.k.a. All Elite Mikey on Twitter. Thank you very much, everyone, for joining. Danielle, Dee, Rob Wells Jr., Earl Cole, Hologram, everybody. I'm DJ Storms. This has been the Lightning Flash Update, and I will be catching you guys next week. We'll be talking about Crown Jewel. Keep it here, and I will be working hard all week, making that money.